Lucas this hole.
Yes. Or I will now.
Well, snap. I guess since we're all here and assembled, let me get my shit together, eh? Alright, so let's roll with this recap. Last session began with the party arriving to the elven nation of Brightwood, more specifically, the high elven coastal city of Shrawliton. Here, the party began to rub elbows with the locals. They did a bit of shopping as well as some information gathering and got to experience the high elf hospitality, or lack thereof, firsthand. And after some time, strange beasts seemed to appear in and around the city. The Royal Guard, the local policing faction, leapt into action and began slaying the beasts quite handedly. The party took this as their opportunity to flee south, deeper into the nation of Brightwood. Locris and Renwick also took advantage of the situation and liberated a few mounts as well. On the journey south towards the city of Ledlitten, through the rocky rolling hills filled with natural springs and flowing creeks, the party encountered a few travelers on the road, even sharing their campsite with a nervous but grateful granny, peddling various herbs. And the party and the granny parting ways at dawn and then continuing on their way. During the second night on the road, amidst the camp, all seems well, until Logos's watch, a token given to him by the granny, turns into an iron tooth, and suddenly an attack is made from the darkness. An attack that misses Logos, but splinters and tears the bark from a nearby tree. Logos quickly surveys the scene to see several frog-like humanoids swathed in shadow, surrounding him as well as the campsite. And that is where we are now. We're going to have to just start it with rolling some initiative, gentlemen.
Let's do it. First roll of 9. Oh, no. Well, that's a 5 for Glader.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's not good. That's a 26 for Renwick, not to rub it in.
I have a +9 to initiative, and I still got a 12. I rolled a 3.
That's a 15 for Locris.
17 for Blade.
Okay, give me a second here. So, Blade. Alright, so let me throw. Oh man, I rolled some excellent initiative myself there, gentlemen. Alright. Okay, so as this kind of cracks off, as you guys kind of find yourselves, I dropped a pick in the feed real quick, as you guys kind of look about from the safety of this small hut that Blade has erected for you guys. You guys kind of, Renwick, you're up. You notice after hearing a large branch snap and some splintering of wood in the not too far distance. You come to and realize there are at least a couple of these hulking frogmen skulking around the outskirts of your camp.
Oh, all right. Fun stuff. I'm assuming, so is I guess the door of our encampment on the north, south, east, or west of the structure we're in? I know that we're in the tiny hut, so I guess I just need to orient myself so I know how to use my movement.
I think that would be a question for Blade.
Will, pick a direction. Where's the door?
I mean, I naturally probably would have had it facing the fire.
I think in Tiny Hut, like you can just walk in and out anywhere. It's just people he doesn't want coming in.
Oh, I always pictured it with the door, but I guess that makes sense.
I think let me double check the language of the spell, but I'm pretty sure.
And Sean, would I have noticed since I saw these things? Would I have noticed if they saw Logus since he was, I think, posted in a tree?
Give me a perception check. Yeah.
16.
Yeah, Hut says it's a dome, so I agree with Alec that it's anywhere entrance exit.
Okay, yeah, and with a 16, you definitely know. You heard this snapping and breaking of branches off in this tree type of area, but you assume that Logos is near some Banderhobs if you don't have direct line of sight.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna take off to the right. If I can go 2 squares over, 3 down to get in melee with Vanderhob 4. And I imagine Renwick just kind of like, he hears that snap and he immediately stands up with like a flourish of his trident and draws his hand crossbow. And it just is like, well, boys, I think it's time to go to work. And he just sprints off out of the hut into melee with just Vanderhob. And I guess I'll take a swing.
Great. Yeah, give me some attack rolls.
That's going to be a dirty 20 with the trident, and hand crossbow is an 18.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Both hit.
Sick. So first hit with the trident is going to be 5d6 because of sneak attack. Shit, one off the table. Let's see. 10, 8, 10, 20, 27 damage with the trident. And hand crossbow is going to be another 9 points.
Okay, yeah, you definitely charge right in and start carving this large creature up. Its attention goes from whatever's up in this tree nearby straight to you.
I think that'll be my turn.
All right, moving on down. Blade, I believe.
Okay, so Blade is going to exit the hut, and I'm sorry, which one did Renwick go after?
Renwick went towards Banderhob 4.
Banner. All right, 4. So I guess Blade will kind of pop out of the hut to the left. Actually, where am I? Yeah, I can go to the left. Basically, just like pop out next to the fire, 5 feet or so.
Okay, yeah, you can take the 5-foot step out of the hut.
And kind of as he's looking at Vanderhoff.
Yeah, they are called Banderhobs, these large-sized frog humanoids.
So he's going to see this nasty-looking Vanderhob 2 specifically, and kind of glaring at him, looking through the fire, and kind of glaring at him and just being like, not saying anything, but just has kind of these little whispers, you could say dissonant whispers, coming through, going, who are you, Vanderhob? And yeah, I'm going to cast dissonant whispers.
Okay, great. And what do you need from me?
A wisdom saving.
A wisdom saving throw, you say? Okay. Well, just let me double check something here. It doesn't look like the best. Let's see here. Looking at a 12.
Passing this the to fourth level. So what's going to happen is fail save, so he's going to take 66 psychic damage, and then it must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as the speed allows away from you. And it doesn't go into dangerous ground.
So your mic is really, really quiet. It's hard for me to kind of pick up what you're saying. So can you give that to me one more time? There we go. Perfect. Now you go.
No, like whenever I talk in the microphone, like my pinky like goes down over the mic every freaking time. Sorry about that. So
No worries.
he's going to take a 66 psychic damage, and he has to use his reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me, and it doesn't move into any danger.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead and roll me some damage.
All right, so it's going to be 18 psychic damage.
All right, perfect. And yeah, he kind of grips the side of his head and gives out a bit of a roar as you kind of unleash your spell. Tell me kind of how does this dissonant whispers manifest?
So as he kind of like came out of the hut, he was kind of staring at him, not really like making any sort of like gesture or anything, but just kind of having like a piercing gaze at this frog, and kind of having these voices just approaching him. Maybe like a kind of maybe like a kick of like dirt from around the fire comes up as he's doing it, like kind of shooting it from his mind.
It kind of grips its head and reels and roars.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and he's going to kind of actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to use anything right now. That'll be it for me.
Okay, moving on down in initiative. Locris, you are up.
All right, I was laying down the kids when I heard which one Blade attacked.
He stepped out and went after 2.
All right, then I'm going to charge out at number 1 and just start wailing into him.
Okay, great. Give me a couple of attack rolls.
The 27 for the first one and a 29 for the second.
Oh, both hit for sure.
That's 8. 1 plus 7 is 8 plus 12 is 20 points of piercing damage.
As you kind of land a couple solid blows with your mace, a black ichor kind of left behind upon it, but the Banderhob fully turns his attention to you.
Just to make sure it doesn't take off its attention, I'm going to use for the first time an action surge and take 2 more attacks.
Nice. All right, give me a couple more.
That's a 17 and a 26.
Both hit.
I was worried about that 17. 8 plus another 20 points of piercing damage.
A couple more solid blows on this large, kind of bulbous frogman. You for sure have his attention.
And that's action, bonus action, movement, so I'm good.
All right, moving on down. Logos, you are up.
I will. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the one that everyone's been laying into.
Okay, so 2 have been attacked. Renwick has attacked one that's near you. You're kind of posted up in a tree at the moment, and on either side of this tree, there is a Banderhob coming after you. Renwick has attacked one of these nearby, but aside from that, on the about 20, 30 feet away, you see Blade and Locris also going toe to toe with a pair of Banderhobs.
Well, if that's the case, can I get down the other side of the tree and move away from the ones that seem to be coming at me?
So you can, but there's one on either side of the tree. So you can either head north or south, but to your east and west, you are directly flanked.
I'll head south, away from the group a little bit into the trees, and then kind of circle around towards maybe. Let me see the map. I'm just trapped by water. Oh, I didn't see that part. Okay, well then I'll go north, jump towards the party, and then kind of go in that break between 2 and 3, out that way. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go up towards Gladier, past the Magic Hut, get on the opposite side of the party, next, kind of close to that tree, up to the top right.
Okay, yeah. The tree kind of nearest the hut, or the one farther north of that?
I'll go further away. I'll go to the far tree.
And how much movement do you have?
I have 45.
Okay, you can get pretty close. You're within 5 feet of that tree up on the upper right-hand corner of the map.
Okay, and then from there, I will Hunter's Mark the one that Renwick is fighting since he's solo, and then I'll pop off 3 shots at it.
Okay, yeah, give me some attack rolls.
With my new +2 longbow. All right, first one is a 28 to hit. Second is a 22 to hit. Third is a 24 to hit.
All 3 hit for sure.
All right, first one is 12 points plus hold on, I'm trying to get plus 3 points from Hunter's Mark, so that's 15 on the first. Second is 13 points plus 1 from Hunter's Mark, so 14 on the second. Second is 14 points of damage plus 2 from Hunter's Mark, so 16. So 15, 14, 16.
Okay, yeah, as you just drill this Banderhob with arrow after arrow after arrow, kind of straight in its exposed chest. They sink deep, and this thing, gives a loud cough, and it hacks up this black ichor as it's kind of, it's trying to square off with Renwick.
And that'll be my turn. Bonus action movement. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, moving on down from Logos. Let's see here. That is actually the Banderhobs.
Hey, Sean, real quick.
What's up?
So at the end of last session, I don't believe I dismissed my Fine Steed spell, so my Celestial Elk should still be like hanging out with the other mounts right now, just in case, because I can like command it to attack and stuff. I think it just goes. It doesn't say specifically in the spell like when it can attack, but it does say that I can like command it to. So I'm guessing it might go like immediately after my initiative.
Yeah, I totally didn't even think about your elk. Good call there. Let me grab some marker and I'll throw it on the map here. And just when I come to your turn here in just a second.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I just didn't know like I didn't want to say it after the enemy attacked because I'm not sure if like they would attack our mounts. So I just want to make sure that he was there if they were going to.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Let me just make this little thing real quick. Okay, sorry, I squared it away. All right, so with the Banderhovs, let me take a new pick real quick. Okay. All right, so the first Banderhob squaring off with Logris, I do believe, yeah. He goes for a bite attack. You are within range of a good old chomp, and this massive frog-like being just goes for his massive maw opens to almost the size of his entire body, and he snaps at you. 13 to hit.
Way miss.
With that, moving on down to Banderhob 2. Banderhob 2, in just a puff of smoke, is gone. It disappears from, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, the Banderhob just disappears from your guys' immediate view. It's just gone. Banderhob 3, upon seeing Logos take off running, kind of heads in towards the party. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. And with a big lashing tongue, this Banderhob 3 kind of approaches this little campsite of your guys's, and he strikes out with his tongue towards Blade Silverstring. But this thing's tongue is much different than you expected and very unfrog-like. As this thing opens its great maw, it's almost like a tentacle of shadow erupts from it and flails towards Blade Silverstring. Blade, that's a 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, so you take a total of 15 necrotic damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
So this thing's tongue manages to wrap around you after kind of, this dark energy kind of saps the life from you just by it touching you. and he drags you straight up to him with his tongue attack. He pulls your body, the 5 or 10 feet or so, and you are now standing, staring upward past the belly of this big beast into a tooth-filled maw. Banderhob 4 decides that doesn't really care for Renwick carving it up. Let's go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage. So be low, being 14, still comes out to a 22.
Yeah, I think that might hit.
All right, as this thing just kind of chomps forth at the blurry image that is Renwick in battle, it gets lucky and has a big enough radius to just kind of encompass your whole body for the time being. Renwick, go ahead and no, actually, for the moment, this thing just bites into Renwick. Let me roll out some damage here. 5d6 plus 5. All right. So, Renwick, you take 29 piercing damage from this bite, and you are fully encapsulated in this thing's mouth. It stands tall with you. You are currently grappled and restrained in this thing's maw.
Fair enough. I am going to uncanny dodge that with my reaction.
Okay, for sure. All right. Out of the darkness, one of these creatures just appears next to you, Logus, as you are off by this tree. And, that is a critical fail on the bite attack there. And, another Banderhob, similar to how number 2 seemed to escape. An additional Banderhob shows up in like a puff of shadow and smoke, and he just happens to appear right behind Locris. Locris, another bite attack coming your way. Does an 18 hit?
18 does not.
So it chomps furiously, but does not manage to find any purchase. And before we move on down, Logos, I need you to give me a perception check.
Okay, yeah, let me. That is going to be a 30.
Goddamn, a 30. Okay. You for sure hear like whispering. First unintelligible, like, and you understand. You pinpoint it immediately. There is some sort of like faint whisper emanating from your iron tooth. And with a 30, you catch it pretty clear. An old lady's voice coming across, saying, "Oh, elf boy wants to buy my herbs. We'll sell him some herbs. We got to get to the elf boy. Sell him the herbs."
So is it coming through the coin, or does it sound like she's nearby?
The whispers seem to be emanating from the iron tooth.
Okay.
That being said, we're moving on down to Gladier. Gladier, the yellow square, will represent your steed in this particular combat. And so, bringing up the bottom of the round, that is you. What's up? How do you proceed from here?
All right, so Renwick is currently restrained and grappled and
Renwick,
fucking
you see all you see of Renwick is a single boot sticking out of the mouth of this Banderhob.
And Blade just got pulled towards him. He didn't get snacked up yet, right?
Correct. Just pulled straight towards this thing's large belly.
Okay, in that case, Glader's gonna sit down in the tiny hut and take a nap. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll for how well you sleep? No.
um, he's gonna bolt out straight for number 4, who's got Renwick almost swallowed. As I'm running, I just kind of like slide my hand over my sword as I'm like kind of unsheathing it, and it starts to glow with a bright, radiant light. And I'm casting Blinding Smite on my weapon as a bonus action. So next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, your weapon flares with a bright light, and the attack deals an extra 3d8 radiant damage to the target. Additionally, the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the spell ends. A creature blinded by the spell can make a Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a successful save, it is no longer blinded. So I'm casting that on my sword, and I'm running up to the Banderhob, and I'm taking 2 swipes at it.
Okay, yeah. Give me a couple of attack rolls.
All right. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? That is not good. That's a 12 to hit on the first one.
Oh, that for sure misses. Bounces off their big, blubbery, kind of greasy hide.
All right. Rub the sleep from my eyes and take the second attack. That's much better. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, and you need what? Would you say a con save from me?
Yeah, Constitution save, and the spell DC is 16. So let me roll out some damage. So that's 1d8 plus 3d8, 4d8.
Ooh, that's a 9.
So he's now blinded. And he takes 13 slashing damage and 11 radiant damage. And that's my turn. But do you want my steed to just go directly after?
Yeah, we could say on your turn it can go either before or after you.
Okay. So I have a telepathic bond with it, so I just tell it to, and I just use the basic elk stats for this. But I'm gonna have it charge the same Vanderknop Hob that I'm attacking. It has a movement speed of 50 feet. Its charge attack is if the elk moves at least 20 feet in a straight toward a target, then hits it with a ram attack on the same turn. The target takes an extra 2d6 damage. And it also has to succeed on a strength saving throw DC 13 or be knocked prone. So I guess he's just gonna charge at him, and he's gonna try and ram him.
Okay, great. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
All right. That is 14 to hit.
14 just misses. This the massive horns, and compared to the thick hide and blubber of this creature, just kind of stop him in his tracks.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's his turn now. All right.
All right. Moving on back to the top of the round, Renwick, you are up.
I think this would be where I make an acrobatics check to try to escape.
Yeah, currently you are in this maw of this creature, being covered in this black ichor and saliva. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics or athletics check to kind of get your way out of
Is
this maw.
just to make sure I know my options because this is my first time being swallowed whole. Um, can I? So I have the option for the acrobatics or athletics to escape, but I also have the option to make it an attack at disadvantage from within.
Correct.
Okay. Tempting because I walloped this thing, but I don't think I'm. Wait, is this the same one that Logus shot?
It is.
And would sneak attack apply? Because technically, I have a feat that allows me to get sneak attack off when I am within 5 feet of a creature and I don't have an ally within 5 feet of me.
I would say between Gladier and his steed, you have an ally within 5 feet of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was attacking a different one. My apologies. So it'd just be a straight up. Yeah, I'm going to try to escape then. I'm not going to kill this thing in one shot without sneak attack. All right, sorry for that. That is a 19.
That hits. That's with disadvantage.
No, that was my acrobatics check.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I misunderstood there. For sure. You wiggle and squeeze and manage to pop out of this thing's pursed lips and, land on your feet on the ground right next to Gladier. Gladier, you notice Renwick pops out covered in saliva and what you assume to be this creature's blood. Like a lot of black ichor.
And I guess Renwick is going to look over at Gladier and just be like, "Do you think this is nature getting me back for skinning that bullywug so long ago?" And then his eyes roll back and go black for a second, and he summons a spectral tentacle directly behind, I guess, across from him, and smacks Bullywug 4 with it.
Okay, yeah. Give me an attack roll.
That is going to be... Oh, shit. 23.
Oh, that hits for sure.
I mean, it's just a D8, but... but an 8, so 11 points of cold damage, and its movement speed is lowered by 10 feet until the start of my next turn, I believe.
Renwick, go ahead and tell me how you finish this Banderhoff.
Oh, in that case, he climbs out of that Vanderhoff and says what he says to Gladier, and then his eyes roll back and he summons that tentacle, and the tentacle just spears this thing from behind through its chest and lifts it up into the air, and then just drops it on the ground in front of him.
As this thing dies, as this body kind of plops to the ground, it immediately transmorphs into piles of garbage. Gladier, Renwick, you guys are looking at rotten foods, molding grain, torn and discarded, parcels of clothing. The stench is, up there, rotting meats and vegetables and things. It's definitely not a pleasant sight, but the entire Banderhub body has become nothing but garbage.
I think he just makes stern eye contact with Gladier and nods, and then stares down his next target.
Okay, yeah. Moving on down. Blade, you are up. Currently, you've been dragged straight to go toe to toe with this, large frog man looking down at you quite hungrily.
Okay, and I'm currently restrained.
No, he just pulled you closer to him. You're not restrained.
Oh, gotcha. So Blade's gonna kind of look at him and be like, "Well, it seems like you're a little hungry, but if you want your treat, you're gonna have to do a trick for it." And he pulls out his concertina, and he just starts kind of wailing on, and this frog begins to feel a irresistible dance.
Oh, nice. What do you need from me for Autoluke's irresistible dance?
I think with this spell, there isn't a save for it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He just starts dancing.
And then, just to get the heck out of there, Blade is going to say, "That's a good boy," and then Misty step back out of it.
Okay, you got about 30 feet or so with Misty Step. Where would you like to go?
I'd like to be like 10 feet above Gladier.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
And I forgot the last time. I think I still have Archie out, or out Archie would have been out.
Yeah, you had him around when you guys were traveling roadside and whatnot. So I imagine you still have a very vibrantly blue bird of some kind.
So I guess he's going to Archie, kind of jumping into the fray here, is going to fly out towards. Let's see, where am I? Where am I? He's going to fly out towards Banderhob. I think it's 5, the one that's currently trying to get Logus.
Okay, yeah.
And with that, he's going to kind of go, whatever. Well, actually, an owl, so hoot. And he's going to just like kind of use like waving his talons at this Banderhob and getting kind of in its face, kind of use its help action to disrupt this Banderhob.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You can give Logus the help action and kind of give him advantage on his next attack or something.
And I think that'll be it for me. I think I'm just going to stay put.
All right. Well, moving on down, Locris. Once again, you're kind of going toe to toe with one of these Banderhobs, and another kind of comes out of the shadows, teleports up right up to you. You've got 2 on 1 kind of going at the moment. How do you proceed?
Locris is just going to yell out, "I hate this fucking country." And he's going to keep trying to wail on the one in front of him to kill it.
Okay, yeah, give me some attack rolls.
A 21 and a 27.
Both hit for sure.
Oh, that worked out better. 6 plus 7 is 13 plus 12, 25 points of piercing damage.
Oh, damn, very nice. A couple more solid blows, and you're rewarded with a black spray of ichor as this thing kind of growls frustratingly.
And going to turn around and put a Hexblade Curse on the number 6 one that I haven't touched yet.
Okay, yeah, for sure. How do you manifest that? How does that look for you?
So after taking 2 smashes on this one, I swing my Morning Star around and black ichor flings from it towards the frog as my eyes go black. And he yells out, "You're next!" And as this bladder hits it, it kind of singes into his skin, marking him.
As this Vanderhob becomes marked, anything else? Or you want to take any movement or anything?
And let them hit me? No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to bait the trap. All right, moving on down. Logos, you're up. Go ahead and give me another perception check before you start your turn.
That's a 27.
The whispers grow louder and more kind of seem like they're directed towards you. In fact, she's no longer idly chatting. She seems to be trying to reach you directly, and she, through this kind of whispered vibrations through this iron tooth, she comes at you, talking about little elf boy, little elf boy. Why don't you want to buy my herbs? My herbs, they're top notch. Just the other day, they were fine enough for you, but now, what? You've changed your mind? My herbs are not good enough for you, little elf boy.
Can I do a free action and try to talk back?
Yeah. What do you say?
I'll say, where are you, hag? I did try to buy your herbs. We've done nothing to deserve this.
You elfses are all the same. Nice to the little old lady, but as soon as they get ugly, oh, you want nothing to do with them. You're just like your cousins. I'm going to eat you.
Can I make an insight? Does she really know Logos's cousins, or is it just that she's talking about all elves?
Give me an insight check.
It's a 22.
It would appear she is astute enough to realize that you are a wood elf, not a high elf. But it appears like she's talking about high elves.
Okay, and that's the only free action I get. I can try to talk on my next turn.
Yeah, that's all you get for now. So how do you proceed from here?
So Renwick's already spit out, right? And Blade's out. And I have a Vanderhob bearing down on me.
Correct. Blade, yeah. Brenwick is freshly out. One of the Vanderhobs has been slain. The one that you hunters marked actually got slain just turn before. But yeah, you do have Vanderhob 6 has crept out of the shadows and begin attacking you.
I am
Sorry,
going
5,
to.
not 6.
I was like, is there an extra one? Well, I'm going to stare this thing down and take my 2 attacks because with my new feat that I took on the level up, the gunner feat, firing my bow up close no longer is disadvantage.
Very nice. All right, yeah, give me a couple of attack rolls.
First one is a 15 to hit.
That's the magic number.
Wow. Second one is a 29 to hit. Would you allow me to retcon moving my hunter's mark to this one that's in front of me?
For sure.
Before I roll damage? Okay. So first one is 15 points of damage plus 4 for 19 points of damage in the first one, first attack total. Second is 13 on the damage plus 4, so 17. So 19 and 17 points of damage. And then with my Boots of the Mobile that allows me to use my movement to get away without incurring an opportunity attack when I attack someone, I would like to move 45 feet. Let me move. Well, let me try to move as much as I can, to the opposite tree, to the tree that I passed on the opposite side to get closer to the party.
Okay, so
Like, yeah, try to like put the tree between me and Vanderhop 5, right next to the pink one.
okay. As you go to move there, Logos, I'm gonna say a 27 probably hits.
Is that an opportunity attack or is it something else?
So, real quick, give me the language. It means due to your boots, the opportunity attack from the creature you attacked, correct? Cannot use its reaction to attack you.
Let me double check. I think it's so mobile. Your speed increases whenever you make it. You don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature. Yeah. So if there's another one that I don't see, then yeah, it'll hit.
Okay, I was just making sure. I had to double check. There is something you don't really quite notice at first there, Logos. As you turn to run, a very large, a very smelly, a gray hag, very resembles the what the little old lady looked like before, but she is monstrous. She is 9.5 feet tall. She's got bony knuckles and long claws. And as you turn to run, you turn into her open arms, and she grasps you in like kind of like a bear hug.
Yes, a 27 hits.
Logos, you take 39 damage as you run into the arms of this massive kind of like hulking she humanoid, and she grips you tightly and pulls you into her face to face, and she smiles with the rotten, evil-looking teeth that drip a crimson color, and they look to be made of iron. And as she picks you up and crushes you in her grasp, she kind of smiles and looks to you and says, "Oh, little elf boy, how about buying my herbs now? You want to buy my herbs now, little elf boy?"
Brentwick just calls out, "Jesus fucking Christ, give her some gold!"
Oh, yes, I'll buy elves. I'll buy your herbs or elves, whatever you need. I'll buy it.
Moving on down, we are going to the Banderhobs. So, Banderhob 1, currently engaged with Locris, makes another bite attack. We're looking at 12 to hit. A large chomp as Locris deftly deflects this blow with his mace. Moving on down to Banderhob 2. What is the spell save DC on your save there, Blade?
That is a wisdom saving throw of 19.
Well, lucky me. Banderhob 2 reappears on the battlefield in a magical puff of black smoke. Banderhob 2 has returned, looking aggressive, but let's see. After showing up here, there is no other target aside from Locris, but he can't quite get there in time. So, moving on down, Banderhob 4, super dead. Banderhob 5, currently checking out Logos getting crushed by this Annis hag. Going to take a tongue attack. That is a lot. 28 to hit. Logos, you take an additional 16 points of necrotic damage as this Banderhob, just on the right on the other side of this massive hag that's now like trying to pin you to her chest. He gives you basically a solid punch to the face with this massive like black smoky tongue like tendril. You take 16 necrotic damage.
That'd been funny if he just like licked me in the butt or something.
Let's see. With a 5-foot step, the Banderhop 6, also engaging Locris, makes a bite. That's another critical fail. That's a nat 1. Once again, with the same blow you used to block the other Banderhob, without even trying, you accidentally stuff your mace into the mouth of the other, deflecting his blow as well. All right, so moving on down to the bottom of the round, that would be Gladier. You're up.
Okay.
I'll drop a pick here. Give me just a sec.
Shit.
Okay, I dropped a fresh pick. The Banderhob just kind of explodes into garbage in front of you as it is speared with this tendril, this tentacle that comes from nowhere. But you're up. You stand by with Renwick to one side and your steed to the other. What do you do?
Oh. Fuck. Okay, and Logus is still grappled, correct?
Currently grappled, yes.
Okay.
Ish. I don't think Logus can be grappled, but as grappled as Logus can be.
I'm gonna send my steed and try another ram attack on the hag. So he just runs directly towards her and tries to just impale her with his horns. Or antlers, not horns.
Okay, yeah. Give me an attack roll.
That's a natural one. God, this steed sucks. So he fucks up. Okay. So seeing that my elk ran at her and didn't do shit. Oh my god, there's so many people. 2 people in trouble. Okay. How many feet is it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I only have 30 feet of movement. I can't even get within melee range of her. Okay. Oh no, there's something I can do. Okay. So I'm gonna move just in a straight line directly towards Logus and the hag. I don't think I can. I think I'm still gonna be like 5 feet away from them.
You got 30 feet, right?
Yeah. Can I get all the way there?
You're pretty close. You're, I don't know, you're a 5-foot square from the hag, so that puts her about 10 feet or so.
Okay. So I'm not within melee range to attack her?
Not her or the Banderhob that is engaging Logus. You're still a square away, unless you have reach on something.
No, but that's fine. I had a different idea. I'm going to use my action to cast Aura Vitality, which is a concentration spell for 1 minute. Then I can use my bonus action to cause one creature within my 30-foot aura to regain 2d6 hit points. So I'm gonna heal Logus for 2d6 with my bonus
Wait,
action.
what's the level of spell of the first spell you just cast?
Shit. 3rd level.
As you go to cast a spell, the hag flicks her
Yeah.
eyes to you and counterspells your
How
spell.
far away from me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, bordering 40 feet.
Let me just take a quick look.
So as the hag kind of eyes look over to you, Gladier.
Counterspell, her counterspell.
Oh, you got the range?
60 feet.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, she goes to counterspell you. Locris saves the day, counterspelling her counterspell, which sets your healing spell off without a hitch.
All right. Thank you. Whew. All right. So, yeah, action to cast the aura, bonus action to heal 2d6. Logus, well, that's not good. Well, you got 4 hit points back. Did not roll well on the 2d6. But that's everything for me.
Logus is all bloodied and just gives you a thumbs up. Thanks, pal.
One little scratch gets like healed.
Okay, so moving on down to the true bottom of the round here, which is the hag outright. So her having Logos in her arms, she's just going to reapply the crushing hug. Logos, give me a Constitution saving throw as this hag goes to crush you in her grasp.
That is a 13.
Unfortunately, that is not enough. She squeezes and laughs as she tightens her grip. And let's see here. Logos, you take an additional 34 points of crushing damage or bludgeoning damage as she crushes you with these, oddly muscular arms for this giant kind of crone-looking old lady. She kind of, as she does, she grins and smiles. Oh, now you want to buy everything I have still, little elf boy. You will not learn. I will sell you everything I've got, but it's going to cost you every last drop. And she crushes you, and with that, she actually still has an additional attack, which she'll make with advantage while you are currently kind of in her grasp. Neither hit, unfortunately. She, though she's holding you tight, she begins snarling and trying to bite your face, Logos, and you'll have to whip and struggle to prevent her from sinking her odd, jagged-looking iron teeth into your skull. But she's chomping at the bit, frothing at the mouth, screaming about, "I'll show you elveses! I'll show all you elveses!" Moving on to the top. Renwick, you're up.
I think he sees his buddy take a pretty crushing blow. And if I'm not mistaken, I should be within 25 feet of the hag.
Not quite. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You could get within, you could get right up next to Gladier, but Gladier is himself about 5 feet away.
Okay. In that case, I'll get up right next to Gladier, but I will. Oh, shit. No, I want to proc sneak attack, and I need to get up in there. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash, so I have enough movement to get within melee and just take a swing with my trident. Or a stab, rather.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, and you just kind of gun through both blade. You bob and weave around Blade, and you straight just dive through Gladier's legs. But you make it up to this hag for your attack.
And with that 50 feet of movement, I just want to make sure that I'm positioned where I don't have an ally within 5 feet of me so that I can proc my sneak attack.
Okay, let's see here. So that'll be 5, 10, 15. You could just barely pull it off between Logos being in her arms and Gladier's steed. It's difficult. It takes the full 50 feet, but you can pull it off.
Perfect. And my swing. Fuck me. I rolled a fucking 2 for a 13.
Doesn't quite hit, unfortunately. Just kind of snags in her robe and tears it a bit, but does not find purchase.
I imagine he just calls out, "Don't worry, buddy. I'm coming. I swear."
All right, moving on down. Blade, you are up.
All right. I have a spell that I want to cast. It has a 20-foot radius. Is there a way that I can cast it on the two froggies that are near Locris without actually hitting him?
Yeah, 20-foot radius for sure. What's the range on the spell?
120 feet.
Oh, for sure. Easily done.
All right. So Blade is going to kind of look towards Locris and seeing, kind of looking at Logos and seeing how much trouble he's in. He's going to turn and see that Locris has been dealing with these two by himself, and it's like, oh, we need to get all our hands on this this wench over here. And he is going to kind of look over at these two frogs that are attacking him and take out his kind of put back his concertina and pull out his lute and just take one good strum, and nothing happens, but a giant or it appears to happen, but you see like a silvery kind of explosion explode right behind these two frogs. And I'm going to be casting synaptic static.
What? You'll have to drop the language of the spell for me. What? Tell me what's going on here. Fancy. You guys are busting out some new moves I have yet to have to deal with.
So you choose a point within range and cause psychic energy to explode there. Each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make an intelligence saving throw. Yes. I guess first, yeah, it'd be the intel save.
Okay. Looking at a straight 5 and a 1.
Okay. So they're going to take, I believe, 8d6 psychic damage. And after that, they have muddled thoughts for 1 minute. So they have to take a d6 and subtract that number rolled from its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
Nice.
And so I'll roll out the 8d6. So each of them take 27 points of psychic damage.
Nice. This kind of explosion of psychic damage just rips through these frogs.
And kind of following up with that, he's going to look at Locris and once again kind of play a nice little melody. And let's just say, oh, Locris, I'm sick of these frogs. Let's kill them now and get out of this bog, and give him a little bit of inspiration.
What's your inspiration up to?
D8.
Well, good timing because any movement or anything?
I think I'm gonna stay put.
Good timing then because Locris, you are up next.
And we'll keep on keeping on and try and put this asshole out of my misery.
All right, good. Give me a couple of attack rolls.
23 twice.
Hits both times, believe it or not.
24 points of piercing damage.
Locris, you hit him so hard that he buckles to one knee and just vomits a small, like half-eaten, like deer up in this black ichor in front of you. But he's taken quite a bit of damage. He struggles to stand. He's on his last legs for sure.
I'll spit on him and end my turn.
All right. Moving on down from there. Logos, you are up. Technically, while in the grasp of this hag, you are restrained, but I don't believe you can be restrained, correct?
Because of the mobile. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but perhaps. Yeah.
That would be amazing. Doesn't say anything.
Oh, I thought it might have like gave you like freedom of movement or something like that. So.
Well, difficult terrain doesn't bother me. That's about it.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh, I thought you were unable to be like restrained or anything. So currently, you are in the arms of this hag with her foul breath and her chomping, crooked iron teeth, and she's crushing you, possibly to death. So you can use an action to try to escape this hold she's got you in, or tell me how you proceed.
Well, let me ask you, as the DM, what would your rule be on say if I try to wild shape into something small to get out of it?
I will. It'll still kind of be the same. Like you could still make an athletics or an acrobatics check, but if you're going to shapeshift to do it, I'll give you advantage on the check to try to escape.
Okay, I'll do that then. I will wild shape into. Let me see. Where's my wild shape? I have a wild shape pack.
Oh, did you download that app I told you about?
Yeah. Oh shit! I don't even know what DR I can wild shape to.
What's your druid level?
4.
CR 0 and below.
Oof. It says that 4th level I can do max CR 1/2. Maybe that's because of the circle I took.
So
That's the
what do
case.
you try to do? You try to like go into a big animal to overpower her and escape, or do you try to go for like a small animal to try to acrobatic your way out of her grasp?
I'll go for a smaller animal to try to acrobatic since I'm more dexterous. I'll go for a panther.
Okay, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check with advantage as you try to escape her grasp.
Okay, first one's a 20. Second is a 12.
20 does it. A combination of the struggle and the shape shifting. You slip from her grasp and land on the ground right in front of her. That will have counted as your standard action, however.
Oh, well, shit. That's bonus action already. And
so she drops you, but you now find yourself between her and a Banderhob, both towering over you, looking down on you.
I think, well, I have no choice. I'm gonna try to run away.
Okay, where do you want to go?
Again, I'll just move down past the person in pink towards the water.
Okay, as you take off, does a 19 or a 20 hit?
Yes, it hits the panther.
Okay, so give me a second.
Blade is going to chime in with some cutting words and being like, "You're going to have to do more than that to hit him."
Okay, which one do you want to target, or can you do both?
I think just one, whatever the 20 was, or whatever the higher one was.
Okay, roll a d8, or yeah, it's a d8, right?
Yep, you got it. I'll roll it in chat here. So 5 off of that.
15 doesn't hit, does it, Logos?
Well, it depends. Does it take the panther stats or Logos' stats?
Panthers for sure.
Then that hits.
The hag seems to reach out and miss you, but the Banderhob's tongue is quick as this like shadowy sinew erupts from its mouth and kind of wraps itself around you. Just touching it in general kind of seems to seep the life from you. You take 19 necrotic damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
Oh, jeez. That's 13 to the panther and 6 to Logos. And that puts me at 1 HP.
You're currently at 1 hit point?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. Okay, so also I need a strength saving throw from you.
Oh, thank God. That's a 22.
Okay, you managed to rip yourself away from the Banderhob's grasp of this with this shadow tongue that it's got. But yeah, so with you taking the damage, I think you could still move after you take the opportunity attack. So. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's like a special ability where an opportunity attack stops somebody in their tracks, right? That's not like standard rules, right?
Sentinel feat.
That's the Sentinel feat.
That's
He can
what I
definitely still, because he passed that strength check to not get swallowed. He's definitely fine to still move. He just takes the damage.
All right, so you still got 40 feet of movement, Logos. So you make your way down towards the lake area. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, you kind of make a dead sprint towards this little spring, kind of in the tree, near the tree where this all started in the first place. But yeah, you make a mad dash to try to get away from these baddies. As you do so, the old hag kind of watches you go. No, elf boy, you're supposed to be here with me. Where are you going?
I'm just gonna flicker off.
All right, so moving on down here. The Banderhobs. Banderhob 1 is going to come at Locris, but we'll see. So let's see. That is going to be a 26 to hit. However, I got a minus a d6 due to the lingering effects of the spell from Blade's Silver String, but a 24 to hit Locris.
That hits.
All right, and I'm going to need. Nope, actually, this thing comes down and chomps Locris, and Locris appears to be, at least for the time being, consumed. You see, similar to what had happened to Renwick, Locris, one of Locris' boots seems to be sticking out of the mouth of one of these Banderhobs. Locris, that is 23 points of piercing damage, and you are currently restrained.
Noted.
All right, moving on down to Banderhob 2. He takes a quick survey of the battlefield and poofs into this shadow mist smoke type of situation and reappears right next to Blade Silverstring. And Blade, does an 18 hit?
That is the magic number.
Blade, you take 23 points of piercing damage, and looking onward, anyone looking at the scene sees Blade Silverstring completely swallowed, put into the mouth of this creature, struggling, only a pair of boots kicking out of this thing's lips, as Blade, you are currently also restrained.
Gulp. Literally.
Banderhob 3 looks around confused. He looks towards Logos angrily, as he would like to somehow pursue him, but the flipping and flapping of his feet do kind of make a rhythmic melody, almost like a tap dancer on the stones beneath him, as he kind of tap dances away. He looks to his feet, and he looks around to his comrades, and then angrily hit Logos, but alas, cannot seem to maneuver about. Moving on down from 4 is for sure dead, and then 5 turns to its unfortunately Logos has gotten away, but Gladier has presented himself as a target here. He takes a step forward, and I just rolled a fucking crit. That's a natty 20. You can blame my old lady for rubbing her boobies on the dice earlier.
Well, that's sad. I mean, good for you. Sad for me.
Gladier, you take 52 piercing damage, and this thing swallows you up. Anyone watching sees that Gladier is simply a gauntleted, an armored hand sticking out of the mouth of this Banderhob.
Oh, no.
Banderhob 6 takes the situation, kind of looking around. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Banderhob 6 poofs in a puff of smoke and disappears, and reappears right next to Logos, who is fleeing. Logos, lucky for you, this 11, I assume, doesn't hit.
No, it does not.
This thing chomps air, but has put you within melee of itself. Now, moving on down from that, Gladier, you're up. Currently, in the mouth of this Banderhob, you see razor teeth, rows and rows of it. So this tongue kind of pummels you to the roof and to the sides. You're getting covered in this like sticky saliva and currently restrained. So how do you proceed?
Oh man, would you mind saying an updated map?
Oh yeah, sure. I got so gung ho with killing all you guys, I forgot to update the map. Give me just a sec.
That's okay. I'm also just buying time so I can try and figure out what the fuck I can do. Oh my god. Oh, I have potentially interesting
Oh,
idea.
sorry, I sent it to the wrong spot. Okay, here it comes. Incoming.
Okay.
Ah, shit, that was the wrong one. Hold on. God damn it.
It's alright, you're just giving me more time to think. Things
Okay,
change.
that one's the real one.
My plans changed when I got fucking swallowed.
Got most of the party currently being digested now. This is a new course. This hasn't happened before.
Okay,
Anyone else feel like this is delayed payback for the way we treated the trolls during the loot drop campaign?
probably. Okay,
Oh, Renwick, the black dot is your tentacle, for the record.
alright, don't worry about that. Can I only pick one person? Yes, one creature for vitality. Okay, so, I'm gonna ask your opinion on this because if I use my breath weapon, it's a dexterity saving throw, but my head is currently inside its mouth. So like, I mean, I'm sure I might get damaged too, but would that be like an auto fail dex save if like he's swallowing my face and I breathe fire inside his body?
I'll make him make the save with disadvantage for sure.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so I can do that, or I can use an action to try and get out of the grapple.
Correct. It is an action to escape the grapple.
This guy hasn't gotten hit a lot, so I'm not gonna take him out with one breath weapon. I'm just gonna try and break out of the grapple. Actually, I just thought it would be funny to shoot fire inside of his body. Yeah, I'm gonna
All right, yeah. Athletics or acrobatics, your call.
definitely athletics.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and try to power your way out of this thing's maw.
That is a dirty 20. 12 on the die plus
and
8.
you succeed. You manage to get a firm hold on either side of this thing's jaws. You pry it open, and the flailing tongue just kind of pushes you out the mouth. You land, strangely enough, on your feet, but right in front of this Banderhob, now dripping with saliva.
All right, I'm gonna bonus action Aura Vitality, and it says I can choose myself as. Actually, wait, is Logus 5, 10, 15, 20, 25? Ah, Logus, you're just outside of my range. So I'm going to choose myself for my Aura Vitality. That's 7 points of healing to myself. Oh, wait. No, I can't do that. Because I took damage on. I took 52 points of damage, and it's a concentration spell, so I have to roll a con save, which I'm probably not going to beat a 26 unless I roll a nat 20. Nope.
Well, let's see it. I forgot
I
about
rolled
your
a
concentration.
16 plus 6, so only 22. So I don't take 7 points of healing because my aura dropped. In that case, do I have anything else I can bonus action? I don't think I have any potions. Um, okay. Would you allow me? I know we allow potions of healing for bonus actions, but would you allow me to take a potion of bear's endurance as a bonus action?
I don't see why not. You could chug a potion as a bonus action.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to take my potion of bear's endurance, which does some things, but I'll do that in a second once my turn's over. And then I'm gonna telepathically tell my elk to uh, try and batter the hag with its hooves. Make a hoof attack.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
That is a 18. Does 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Oh, okay. That's only 2d4 plus 3. That's 7 plus 3, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, as your mount kind of rears up and lands a couple of firm kicks, the hag doesn't looks more annoyed than anything. But
Alright, and yeah, that's my turn.
well, I mean, moving on down to the bottom of the round now, the hag, with Renwick kind of attacking her and your beastie too. Nope, she's gonna go for your steed. So let's see. I got does a 16 hit your steed?
My seed? Oh, I
Correct.
only, yeah, it's the only one out. 16, yes, that hits. It has a very low AC.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll some damage out real quick.
He's probably dead. Goodbye, Elkin John.
Just believe.
Oh, yeah, he dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Ah, shit. That was not supposed to be plus F. Oh, you lucky bastard. I got straight ones on one of those. So we're looking at, 19 damage on the first attack, 14 damage on the second attack, and 8 on the third attack as this hag just cackles and screams, and she just tears this thing apart. She grabs it with one clawed hand, grabs the other flank with the other, lifts it into the air, and just bites the damn thing like in half.
Yeah, he actually disappeared into golden dust after the first attack. It was
Oh,
13
okay.
hit points.
So she goes all out and just fucking mangles this beastie before turning her eyes to Renwick, and an evil smile kind of creeps across her head as her head tilts and kind of takes gauge of his somewhat blurry form. But that'll be the round. Going on back to the top. Renwick, you're up.
At the sight of Elkin John being mercilessly obliterated, you see his grip tighten, and he just looks up at this hag, says, "You'll pay for what you've done to Elkin John on this day." And thrusts forward, and he's just gonna swing with the trident, or I guess lean in.
Okay, yeah.
That is, oh shit, that's a fucking 30. Natty 19.
Oh, that hits for sure.
That'll be sneak attack on top of that. Oh, fuck me. I rolled 3 1s, a 2, 6. So let's see here. Oh, shit. Sorry. Trying to figure out where my trident was. 18 damage on the trident, and he'll take a. I'm actually. Can I move? Is my tentacle within 30 feet? No, definitely not. All right, I'm just going to take another hand crossbow shot then to keep this moving.
All right.
That is a 17.
That's the magic number for the hag.
12 points of damage.
Nicely done.
And that'll be. Actually, I can move away without incurring. So I'm going to just go 10 feet to the south and 1 toward that tree. So I'll be like to the right of the green section of the tree south of me.
Okay, great. Yeah. You make a couple of attacks and then make a move. She reaches for you, but you're just too swift to agilely move out of the way. Is that it?
Yep, move bonus standard.
And we come down to Blade Silverstring. You find yourself in being bounced around a large tooth-filled maw by a slimy tongue that's coating you in saliva. It's pretty dark. It's difficult to move. What do you do from here?
I can imagine Blade panicking a little bit, but he's going to kind of concentrate a little bit and go, I just need to get out of here and focus. And he's once again going to Misty Step.
Oh, nice. All right. Do you have to have line of sight of where you're going, though?
That's actually a good question. I didn't see. Oh, nope. I can't see anything, so I can't do that. That's a good call.
You could misty step deeper into the Banderhob if you'd like.
Can I Misty Step through his butthole if he has one?
Is this where you roll perception to see if you can see out either end?
Can you see sphincter?
It's just
Follow
a
the
little
light.
hole. Oh no. Okay, so I think I am going to. I should probably try to get out of this motherfucker's mouth. All right. I am going to I guess try to get out of this guy's maw if I can.
Yeah, you can either athletics or acrobatics, your call, to try to escape this thing's maw.
Let's go acrobatics.
Okay, yeah, give it a shot.
Mm, 13.
Struggle as you may, the tongue is almost wrestling you inside the mouth. It pins you, it bounces you to the side, it pins you to the roof of the mouth. You do not manage to escape.
All right. I guess I'm going to do bonus action. I guess bonus action healing word myself.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
So just kind of mutter a few things, probably getting fucking frog spit all in my fucking face. But yeah, so I'm gonna cast, I guess, healing word at the third level for ooh, not bad actually, 16 points of healing.
Oh, very nice. You guys on the outside see this one Banderhob with Blade's foot sticking out of its lips, just like the inside of its mouth glows brightly for just a moment, you know.
He's trying some shit in there. And I guess that's all that Blade can do. Could I still have my owl be doing some shit?
Absolutely. You've definitely got a connection with Archie. What would you have Archie be doing?
All right. Archie is I think just going to, out of instinct, even though he's gonna get fucking walloped, go right after that hag there and just once again try to get in her face and uh kind of swipe around, try to gouge her eyes with her talons just to distract her.
Okay. Do you want to make an attack roll with Archie, or do you want to have him give someone the help action to attack the hag?
Maybe the help action. I'm gonna give I think Gladier the help action if he's close.
He's close, yeah. He's just around the corner there. So yeah, Archie kind of begins flittering and fluttering around Gladier, trying to assist him when and where he can. So keep that in mind, Gladier. That Archie is helping you with your targets, so you'll get advantage on your first attack on your next turn.
And I think that'll do it for Blade.
Moving on down from Blade, Locris. You find yourself in a tooth-filled maw, getting beaten and battered by this tongue, covering you in saliva. You see black ichor everywhere. You notice several teeth have actually been pummeled out of this creature, thanks to your own prowess, but currently kind of battered around in this slobbery ichor-filled maw. How do you proceed?
I yell out, I did not consent to this. Then I'm going to try and put an end on this bitch from inside.
Okay, yeah, you make an attack roll, but with disadvantage.
21 and 24.
Both hit.
11 plus 12 for 23 points piercing damage.
From the inside, Locris, tell me how you end this Vanderhob.
Well, for flavor, I'm going to take my weapon and turn it into more of a scythe and stab it into the bottom of his guts and just rip open, spilling out his whole insides as I drag my way back out.
As you just carve your way out of the belly of this beast and step out of it as if casually stepping through another doorway or something. The beast guts kind of burst out all around you, and as the body falls to the ground, it too just becomes heaps of garbage. You're looking at piles of rotten meat, sacks of moldy vegetables, and other various spoiled goods. But yeah, it seems to be no more.
Did I need all 23 points to finish him off?
7 would have done it.
All right. Then what I would want to do, because I'd get 7 minimum. Finish him off, and then I would have gone after number 6 and used my second attack on him instead. So we could say half and half if you want.
Yeah, it's only 20 feet of movement if you want to do it that way. Slide out of this the belly of one Banderhob into a somewhat sprint, and you run over to another and just land a thorough bash. Begin the process anew.
Then we'll say 11 to finish off the one, and then we'll just take 12 left over, put it onto him, and add an additional 4 because number 6 is the one I did the Hexblade Curse on.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Hexblade Curse. So, yeah, you run over.
16 points total.
All right. For sure, land a thorough hearty blow, which gets him to side eye you as he was trying to make a quick meal of your buddy Logos, but maybe not currently. Speaking of,
then I'll just say, "Told you were next," and then my turn.
All right, Logos, you are up.
Does this Banderhob look hurt at all? Like, has it been hit before, or was that smack the first it took?
It had a little bit of damage on it before, but Locris came up and gave it a thorough wallop as well. So it's definitely got a little bit of damage going on.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take my 2 attacks with this. I'm gonna bonus action. Where did I leave my hunter's mark at? Do you remember?
Your hunter's mark is currently on Banderhob 5, which is going toe to toe with Gladier.
Okay, then well, I'm just gonna attack the one in front of me.
Okay, great. Give me a couple of attack rolls.
Jesus, this session cannot. The first one's a natural one. The second is a 25.
25 hits for sure.
And I rolled a 1 on damage. About to log off. 8 points of damage. And since I attacked, I'm going to move since I don't incur an opportunity attack. And I'm going to move back and around the spring, kind of get the spring between me and the battle. And what was the rule on drinking a health potion with a bonus action?
Bonus action to roll it out, standard action to take full benefits.
Okay. Let me see. If that's the case, I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself with a bonus action, and I'm going to upcast it to level 3.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and roll that
and
out.
I get 14 points back. And that's my turn.
All right, so after Logos, it is the Vanderhobbs. Very nice. Okay, so one has been destroyed. 2, Vanderhobb 2 currently has blade silver strings in its mouth. Okay, I'm gonna make this roll with advantage. We're looking at a 12 plus 8 comes out to a dirty 20 to hit their blade.
Oh yeah.
Oh, lucky I didn't roll too great on damage. You take 16 damage as this thing throws you around in its mouth like a piece of bubblegum and gives you a good chomp. You take 16 piercing damage. And on top of that, this Banderhobb vanishes into a poof of shadow and reappears. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Reappears. This Banderhob poofs into shadow and reappears on the other side of the campsite. It looks to be disengaging and leaving with Blade Silverstring in tow.
Guys?
Now, the third Banderhob, angry, but still doing a bit of a jig. It's, just kind of tapping in place. How does the Odaluk's spell work again? Does he not have an action or a reaction or anything like that?
He can spend an action to attempt to break it. Yes, a dancing creature. As an action, a dancing creature makes a wisdom saving throw to regain control of itself. On a successful save, the spell ends.
So I'm gonna assume a 10 does not beat your save.
Just misses.
So the Banderhob, while doing a merry jig in place, is kind of looking around panicked. He's kind of like waving to his other friends and gesturing to his legs that just won't quit dancing. He tries to like lock one of his knees in place with two of his hands. He just cannot resist the urge to throw down this little tap dance jig.
You could say it's irresistible.
All right. Oh. Sorry, chopper's going overhead. So with that, 4 is dead. 5 is currently engaging with Gladier. So another chomp coming your way. Gladier does a 25 hit.
Jesus, yes.
Gladier, you take 25 points of piercing damage, and this thing once again, only a small portion of you is extruding out of its mouth. You guys see an armored foot sticking out of this Banderhob's maw.
Fuck.
Moving on down from there is the hag proper. She, let's see here. The hag lumbers her way forward towards your guys' like magical hut, kind of positioning herself a little bit better, and she turns and gazes in your direction, Logos, and she calls out to you. Elf boy, you still want to buy all these herbs, elf boy? I can just go away. It's just going to cost some of your blood, all of your blood, and gold as well. But I could leave for the price of you. With that, she begins muttering some arcane words. She picks something up out of her pocket and mutters something that makes her eyes glow vibrant green, and she throws it into the sky, and immediately a wave
Counter spell.
Okay, I was waiting
Level
for it.
4.
4, I think, does the trick. Whatever magic she had begun to summon fizzles as she looks angrily in Locris's direction.
Ugly bitch.
Demonborn, you should be on my side. Don't hang out with the elves. Elves are bad. Moving on up, top of the round, Renwick, you're up.
Wait, I don't think I got my turn.
I was gonna say.
Did I skip you? Oh, sorry, I did.
Hey, he said what he said. Back at the top of the round.
Technically, Gladier should have gone before the hag, but okay, my bad. Gladier, you're up.
Okay. This thing hasn't been like hit at all, has it? The one that's swallowed me.
It's taken a few hits. Logos had hunters marked it and hit it with an arrow once or twice.
Okay. Um. Fuck it. I'm gonna attack it from in its mouth with a disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, with disadvantage, go ahead.
Okay. That's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so first one is god damn it, I meant to do something first. Shit. Actually no, I was gonna say that for someone else anyway. Never mind. Okay. 16 for the first attack, so damage on that is 1d8 plus 6. That's 11 slashing damage for the first attack. I'm gonna make another one. Disadvantage is a 15.
Just enough. Lucky you.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna pump Divine Smite in this, burn one of my first level spells for an extra d8 of radiant damage. So that's 11 slashing and, god damn it, 2 radiant damage. So another 19 damage total.
Wait, you said 11 and 2?
11 slashing, and then I used a Divine Smite for an extra d8.
Okay.
And that was 2 radiant damage.
All right, gotcha.
Any chance he crumbles and dies?
Not quite. You land a few blows, you cut through some tissue, and you can tell from the thorough jostling you're getting about in this maw that he is less than thrilled about being cut up from the inside, but still maintains to hold you within his maw.
Okay. Uh, bonus action healing word myself. It's a first level for me. My mage initiate cleric feat. It's 1d4 plus 1. 4 points of healing to myself, and that is my turn.
Once again, another magical flash from within the maw of one of these creatures. And now I'll let the hag go again. No, I'm just kidding. Renwick, top of the round. You are up.
God, that's a lot to wrap my head around. But
So
I got a gut
currently,
feeling.
you see the boot of both Blade, Silverstring, and Gladier kind of sticking out of the maw of a couple of separate Banderhobs. You see Locris going toe to toe. Logos has disappeared off and just took off running into the darkness. And then there's you, standing only a few feet away from this towering hag, who looks like she's making a decision on who to eat for lunch, you or Locris.
Yep. That's that makes sense. That's just a lot. But I feel like because when we kill these things, they turn into trash. That they're all some form of magic rather than like full blown organic. So I think I'm gonna go straight for the hag. I'm gonna rush in and take a swing with my trident. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Oh, for sure hits.
Let's see. That is 12, 15, 19. 26 damage on the trident, and then I'm gonna fire the hand crossbow as a bonus action for an 18.
18 hits.
And I'm gonna activate its radiant charge. Since it's a crossbow of Yandala, I can convert all the damage to radiant on this, so that's an additional 11 radiant damage.
As a bright crossbow light just launches itself and sticks into her, she squints and kind of flinches in the presence of such a radiant light. As the bolt buries its way into her, she quickly covers it and covers it in muck with one of her hands. But you seem to have done some serious damage.
And he'll just give her a wink and kind of take a defensive pose.
All right, moving on down from here. Blade Silverstring. Once again, you feel a hustle, like a bit of a jostling about as this Banderhob is on the move. But you are being bounced around by a tongue, pinned to the top of the roof of the mouth, bounced off of these rows of jagged teeth. It's looking dire straits, covered in slobber. How do you proceed?
I think once again I'm going to try to break out of this thing's maw.
Okay, give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
All right, definitely acrobatics and 24.
24 does it. You, through teeth and pursed lips, you find a jawbone at just the right angle to put both your feet on, and you launch yourself out of this creature's maw, landing on your feet, oddly enough, but directly in front of a very angry, kind of hungry-looking Banderhob.
And with that, I am going to go ahead and Misty step away from this son of a bitch. Just trying to get the fuck out.
Okay, yeah, you've got like 30 feet. Which direction would you like to go? Where would you like to end up?
Probably back east. So, let me see. I guess. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe just like 30. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't want to be near that fucking giant. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go 30 feet just straight east, far as I can get.
So 30 feet straight east, at least how I'm looking at the map, puts you right next to Renwick, who is currently doing melee with the hag.
Oh no.
30 feet 30 feet in the other direction, which would kind of be like west, I guess, will put you like basically on the other side of the roadway from where this battle is taking place.
Okay. I'm going to maybe do I guess maybe if I could be why is this so hard?
That's what she said.
Oh god damn it. I guess let's go maybe north a little bit, oddly. Maybe 15 feet, 20 feet.
Okay, yeah, with a in a poof of mist, kind of like vamping, kind of like Nightcrawler, you disappear from this thing's reach and reappear several feet away on the roadway, kind of looking in at this battle.
And then I will, I guess stay there for now. And I'm going to have kind of look over and spot Archie and kind of see what he's doing. And I'm going to go ahead and give Renwick the help action with Archie there, just kind of distracting again this hag.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And do I? So Gladiator. Never mind. I'm out of stuff to do. So I will. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay, moving on down. Locris, you are up. We've got a tap dancing Abander Hob nearby, but you seem to be laying into the one that you had Hexblade cursed earlier. So, how do you proceed?
Well, I'm feeling froggy, so I'm gonna jump on the one that I hexblade cursed and take a couple swings
Oh,
at
the
him.
puns. Okay, yeah, give me a couple of attack rolls.
19 and 21.
Both hit.
And that's 11 plus 12 for 23 plus 8 for 31 points of piercing damage.
Damn, well played. You find the sweet spot and bash one of this thing's hands so bad it looks like it ceases to function.
And that'll end my turn.
All right. Moving on down from Locris. That will be Logos. You're up. You're kind of standing on the opposite side of the spring as you're watching this combat unfold from a good distance at this point. How do you proceed?
Is So just to clarify, so now that I'm in the woods, am I in like darkness, like away from the campfire and all that?
Yeah, I mean the area around the campfire is kind of lit, but this whole scenario is going down on your watch, which I believe was second watch. So it's probably happening around midnight or so. So yeah, it's pretty dark outside.
Okay, so if I'm in darkness, any creature that relies on dark vision to see me, I'm invisible practically now, unless they have magical means to track me. That being said, I'm gonna stay out of sight. I'm gonna hunter's mark the hag, and I'm going to take off. I'm gonna pop off some shots, but seeing that Renwick's um radiant bolt seemed to do a little extra, I'm gonna use my radiant arrows that I bought and pop off 2 shots at her.
Okay, yeah, give me some attack rolls.
I'm gonna use the sharpshooter feat that I always forget that I have.
What's that? You sacrifice to hit for damage or something, or vice versa?
Yeah, I take a -5 for a +10.
Very nice. All right. Yeah. Give me a couple of attack rolls as you fire these radiant arrows. The second they leave your magical bow, they erupt like an almost blinding radiant light as they travel towards their target.
Well, the first one was a 17, but -5. Uh, it's like a 12 to hit.
It
So I'm
it
saying,
flies wide, sails over her head and off into the darkness.
but the second is a natural 20.
Oh, very nice.
So just to make it easier, I'm gonna roll 2d8. That's 20 points total plus the 2d6 from Hunter's Mark. That's 8. So 28 points of radiant damage from that one hit.
Logus, tell me how you finish this hag.
I think Logus is just so like hurt right now and desperate that he just aims for what he assumes is the hag's heart and just lets this radiant arrow go. And as it hits her in her chest, I imagine that a glow like lights up her chest for a second as it bursts, as it's like lighting up, and then bursts through her chest as she falls or dissipates or whatever the heck.
As the arrows kind of land true and she collapses to the ground, she screams out, "No, elf boy, you're supposed to buy my arms. I need your blood." And then she just bubbles and becomes like almost like a liquid. So where her body once was, where she hits the ground, is now like a bubbling, a searing kind of smoking liquid. And as the hag goes down in this way, all of the Banderhobs that are remaining on the battlefield immediately turn into garbage. They turn into sacks of rotting grain and spoiled meats. It is a sight to behold. Gladier, currently in the maw of one of these things, just crashes to the ground in a pile of garbage. Combat over for the time being.
The Logus is going to reach into his pocket and pull out that golden tooth or that silver tooth, and he's going to take it out and throw it in the spring in front of him and spit on it.
Okay, yeah. You toss this, spit on this little relic and give her a toss into the nearby spring. No longer a target from the hag.
Renwick walks over to Gladier with the decanter of endless water, and he just whispers "geyser" and pops the top and just hoses him down.
Gladier, you're getting a kind of a forceful stream of water blasts all over you as the Renwick attempts to wash some of the debris from the garbage of the Banderhob off of you.
I think Gladier just kind of stands there like sputtering, spitting out water, but once it's done, he's just like, thank you. If there's like a setting on that where it's like a light sprinkle, that might, work better. But it's appreciated all the same. Stuff smells nasty.
I mean, to be fair, we've got to travel with you, so I was really doing it for the party, but glad we're all okay.
Yeah, if I haven't said it before, I fucking hate frogs.
It is like a weird running theme, right? I mean, between the Bullywogs and the Froghemoth and... Oh god, I think if you really sit here and think about it, we could probably find some other... and he just kind of shudders.
Logus at this point like stumbles out of the shadows all hurt and collapses next to the campfire. Next fucking frog that I see, I will shoot it. Regular frog, big frog, I don't care anymore. Fuck frogs.
Guess he's not an environmentalist anymore.
At least he didn't teach these ones how to shoot a bow.
Logus is already passed out from the damage he took.
Well, you still got to finish your watch.
He's got a point.
Rules are rules.
Yeah,
I
only need 4 hours.
You've already killed the hag. I mean, what else could there be?
Yep, no, he's passed out.
I guess we'll drag his body back into the tiny hut, and Renwick can take the rest of the watch.
One of the rare occasions where an elf actually sleeps.
Yeah, Blade's gonna dim the lighting in the hut down nice and low, so Logus can get some good rest.
Before Glader passes back out, can I kind of go over to the hag goop and see if there's anything that has not liquefied?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, that's a natural 20 plus 4, 24.
Oh, very nice. So you find a couple of things as you're kind of like looking at this goop, this like bubbling pile of liquid, kind of pops and sizzles. You do notice, from before when you were sitting and talking with an older lady on just the previous evening, she had a large pack that seemed to be stuffed to the brim. And aside from his old, torn up, ratty cloak, the pack does seem to be in relatively good shape. It's the one you saw the other day. It's stuffed to the brim, it's whole. It hasn't been destroyed. Well, with a Nat 20 doing kind of an investigation of poking around, you don't know a lot about hags, but as you're kind of poking around this bubbling mass of liquid, it would seem to you that you see like a finger slowly kind of come back together and begin like wiggling around in this liquid, and then a toe doing the same thing. You get a sense that this hag is actively regenerating itself. Might take some time, but if precautions are not taken now, this hag will absolutely regenerate.
Glader, just out of kind of, he's gonna grab the pack, but then kind of like out of like just terror and instinct, just like maybe scream a little bit higher pitched than he would like to admit, and then just breath weapon the pile of goop. Just full fire breath. It's 3d6, I believe now.
That's enough. If you apply fire afterwards, this bubbling, like sizzling, popping liquid turns to like a solid black ash, and it does kind of curl up and begin to fall into nothingness. The activity seems to have stopped. You've officially killed the hag proper.
I think he just turns to the rest of the group that are still awake, holding like clutching the pack, and just like the fucking fingers were moving around. That was sorry, guys. I think it's dead for good now. I'm gonna go to bed. I think maybe someone who's better with herbs and stuff should take a look at this pack tomorrow to see if there's anything useful. But uh, not really an expert on plants.
Well, it sounds like a job for Nature Boy when he wakes up, but I'll take watch if anybody else needs to finish the rest.
I could use a little bit of sleep. I'm not down that much, but every little bit helps.
Yeah, I'm a little fucked. But before Glader goes to sleep, he's going to spend 10 minutes casting Find Steed again because now they are short one mount for their travels. So he's going to cast Find Steed again and bring back his Elkin John.
Well, yeah, you cast the Fine Steed. Renwick taking first watch. You easily locate the creatures that scattered due to the battle. You find Gibraltar and Gigabraltar and the plethora of animals and bring them back around campsite proper. And for the most part, the remainder of the evening is uneventful. After a few hours, the sun crests into the sky. The birds and bees begin to buzz about and things. And as morning approaches, and you can see off in the horizon this massive forest, these massive like redwood trees stand like towers off in the distance. And you guys are tell me how you guys proceed from here.
I think first thing in the morning, Glader would bring over the hags back to Logus. She'd be like, hey, know you might still have some not great feelings about the hag and her herbs, but, she did leave this behind when she died, so maybe we can try and find something useful in it, but I'm not too good at all this nature stuff, so thought you might want to have a look.
So from Logus is still. Logus still passed out.
Wait, what?
I'd like to imagine you just walked up and said all that to Logus while he was still passed out.
Glader gives him a swift kick in the ass to wake him up, and then says it again.
With everything that happened and Logus like taking as much damage as he did, I'd imagine when he throws a kick, he like rolls into a stance and pulls out his bow just out of instinct. Oh, Gladiator, you really shouldn't do that, man. I almost died. I'm very jumpy today.
Yeah, sorry about that, but can you just check out these herbs? I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I just, we got to get hitting the road soon, and I wanted to see if there was anything useful in this pack and that's worth carrying before we head out.
What do you need from me, Sean? Would that be nature, survival?
I'll accept nature, survival, or even medicine at this point.
As a nature boy, my nature is shit.
It's all right. I'm a paladin with a +0 to my religion, so I feel you.
God, the dice system in D&D Beyond sucks balls. I wrote a 2+8 for a 10.
With a 10, you notice like a variety of kind of dried herbs and berries that are in this pack. You're not 100% on what any of their properties are, but peculiarly enough, there is a bundle of herbs and a bushel of berries in this pack that are contained with human hands. So it is like a fist of just a human fist clutching a bunch of these like black herbs, and similarly a second human fist, both right hands, oddly enough, clutching a handful of berries. And these hands look to have been not only severed, but probably not recently. They're old and dry and crunchy, look to be dehydrated.
Did y'all bother looking in here? Because this is fucking disgusting. If anyone doesn't oppose, I'm going to burn this goddamn pet, just in case he somehow comes back and comes looking for it.
Well, I think the lesson here is don't take shit from strangers. So toss it and let's go.
Logus is gonna throw it in the campfire and then also cast Produce Flame and throw some extra heat on top of it.
It cracks and pops unnaturally, and a weird purplish smoke emanates from your fire for a bit, but you do eventually destroy the whole parcel.
Do I get a nice high from the smoke? No, I'm just kidding.
So, as you guys kind of collect your things and begin moving on farther south, the remainder of the day is somewhat uneventful. More travelers on the roadside. Can you guys remind me, what was your marching order again?
I think it was Locris and either Renwick or Logus. Logus up front with Locris. I think later was in the back with Blade and Renwick filling in the middle.
That sounds right.
Okay, yeah. So as you guys kind of continue traveling down the way, you guys make your way towards the city of Lead Lytton. This area, as you kind of approach the horizon, where this rocky kind of spring-covered terrain of rolling hills kind of meets this massive forest, you kind of see the settlement known as Lead Lytton. As you approach this roadside village, the sound of music and the smell of smoked meats slowly begins to intensify. Many locals here find that the mellow and unmotivated life is a simple joy. The town is home to many bards and many wayfarers. It looks like a few spiced wine and fine ale distilleries and bars are also kind of abundant in the area, with the many deep and clear running creeks nearby, and the roadside village also just on the outskirts of Brightwood Forest. Natural resources here are not hard to come by. You see some of the high elven architecture is seen kind of centrally located in this village, and around it, similar to what you had kind of seen before, or houses made from really high quality like stones and woods and things. But this like elvish architecture area and these like fancier kind of higher quality homes are kind of the smaller end of the town, rather. A majority of the town kind of encircles this little like rich district at the center, rather. And it is a lot of though very clean, it looks to be like a lot of almost like vagrants. Like you see people who have strung up a hammock between two posts, have a sack of goods underneath underneath their hammock as they lounge and tune a lute or something. There's a lot of like these like four corner posts with just like a thatch roof. The hot kind of climate provides good weather most of the time. So aside from a roof over their head to protect them from the rain, you don't really need a lot to live here in Lead Lytton. And though it's kind of a smaller village, it seems like what would be considered the slums district, or not like the high elven interests within the city, seem to be like a majority of the populace. And as you guys kind of look around and get close, you hear music, you smell smoked meats, the coming and going of people, kind of hustle and bustling. You see a lot of people that seem self-reliant. A bard plucks a lute while he kind of watches a fishing pole bob in the creek. Another man comes up to this kind of like a hammock setup he's got with a couple of fresh rabbits in one hand and begins to skin and clean them. And so the hustle and bustle of this kind of town reaches up to greet you as you guys reach the borders and kind of enter proper. So as you guys enter the town of Lead Lytton, how do you proceed?
Do I know anything about this town?
Probably
off my radar.
I'll give you a little bit no matter what, but go ahead and roll me a history check.
What is my history? Natural 20 for 24.
Man, you know a lot about this town. You know that this is kind of like the Bard's Paradise here in Brightwood. This is where all of the bards tend to collaborate, and not necessarily like on purpose, but more the bards that are kind of outcasts, the wayfarers, the rogues, the travelers, people who just kind of don't fit in elvish society, but are still kind of good-hearted and maybe light of foot. There are half elves have like a weird kind of look, a weird outlook here in Brightwood. The high elves don't particularly see half elves as their own, but the other races in the realm see half elves as being a little bit too high elfy. So half elves are not necessarily well accepted here in Brightwood, and this is kind of where they come. This is where they congregate. This is also a great many bards in the area. This is like almost like a rite of passage, a place where you would come to learn or play music and just kind of live off the land and be free. You know that there's a very small contingency of the high elves here because the nature of the area with the flowing springs and the creeks and things and the forest being so readily available with plenty of resources. It's kind of like off the grid living almost. Like a lot of people here are considered, by the high elves at least, to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Leeches, I guess. They don't pay taxes, they don't spend money, they don't have jobs, but they live off the land and reap the benefits of elven protection anyway. And this small village is kind of like almost like a small party town. This is where the unwanted go, but still even the unwanted in this neck of the woods are usually artists, craftsmen, musicians, sometimes brewers, things like that. But they're just not considered, say, like up to par on any of those things for to compete in like elven society. The elves prefer their wine brewed a certain way and their music and instruments played a certain way, and this is where the can't cut it crowd seems to congregate, and they don't seem to mind. You see a lot of happy faces, a lot of productive people who don't necessarily have a lot, but they don't necessarily need a lot. You see people eating, drinking, making merry with a roof over their head and a warm, dry place to sleep. It's kind of a peaceful place.
They treat the non-humanoid races well, like would Gladier and I be accepted there, or are we still kind of held at arm's length?
It's kind of a mixed company, as it's kind of everywhere. There are some people who don't mind the tieflings and dragonborns, but if you go, like, say, probably into the rich district where the high elven architecture is more dominant, you're probably going to get a little, cold shoulder. But for the most part, it's mixed. Some people see the plight of the mortal races and really identify with it, and other people, unfortunately, sometimes agree with the elves and are suspicious around those types.
All right, then as we're approaching, Chris will look back towards Blade and be like, you'll hate this town. It's just nothing but bad poetry and bad songs, and everybody who wishes they were a bard comes through here to prove their skill, and you can't get a good night's sleep.
Ugh. Well, maybe they need a little bit of inspiration. Maybe they can see true greatness. And he kind of, props himself up a little bit.
Yeah, that's always possible.
Blade is excited from hearing all the music and this kind of, he never came here, but this seems to be like a scene of his.
Yeah, for the most part, we'll be fine in town. Just Gladiator and I'll have to stay away from the hoity-toity district, but it should be a lot more convenient than where we were. So we might actually get some good information from this locale. So I take it we're just going straight through, no stopping?
It's up to you guys. How do you proceed?
But
I will say, from the time you guys awoke to when you are reaching Ledlitten proper, it was probably most of the day of travel. You know, you're arriving at like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. You know, late afternoonish.
Oh yeah, I was saying it more to tease Blade.
these are my people. No, we must stop.
All right, well, let's go to a tavern. I can use a drink after last night. And Logus's friend.
So as you kind of look about, you know, taverns are kind of aplenty. You have your choice. You know, you immediately recognize from the fancy hoity-toity elven architecture, there is the Ledlitten Lounge. There is not quite such a fancy establishment, but still in the part of town where, you know, their buildings are constructed of higher quality goods. There is another tavern known as the Bent Bucket. And out kind of in the slummier districts, kind of on the way to these two locations, is it looks like it's got 4 corner posts with a thatched roof, but underneath this kind of thatched roof sits a man behind a small bar. He's got several kegs and a single like wine rack next to him, but aside from this little covering he's got with these bits of alcohol laid about, there is a sign that says the Green Dragon. And even though it is not like a walled-in proper establishment, there are several benches and chairs and like picnic table type of situations set up around the little kind of bar kiosk, if you will. But they are, you know, open underneath the open sky.
I will go up to the open air looking bar. I need 5 ales.
A half-elven man kind of greets you warmly. Oh, hey, yeah, absolutely. 5 ales covered up. And he brings them all, sets them down on a table. It's, not a lot of customers here today, but, you know, it's still early. The lushes will be out in the next couple hours or so. Don't you worry about that. Got some good musicians around here too. He kind of eyes Blade as he's kind of got some musical instruments. Might have, you know, a good old fashioned bard off later. It's good for a few drinks, some entertainment. The name's O'Malley. So what can O'Malley do for you? You guys don't look to be from around here. Need anything besides these ales? By the way, you're looking at 2 gold, 5 silver for that.
Yep, that's fine. You got a nice attitude. No, just on our way to Silleran and had a very rough night sleeping. So, wondering if you know any stories going around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're heading to Silleran, I mean, you guys look like a capable lot. Just make sure to stock up on weapons. Don't go unarmed, and try not to travel at night. Build a big fire, you know. Keep the nasties at bay. The Royal Guards haven't really been patrolling the roads lately. Kind of gives free run to the weirdos and denzians that do roam the woods, you know, hags, trolls, things like those natures. You don't really want to tangle with those lots. They're not the friendliest. You know, stay armed, stay in the light, you know, and you know, keep an eye out.
Yes, we met one last night, and not friendly is an understatement.
She was a bitch.
O'Malley chuckled. Yeah, they usually are. Surprised all of you made it. Quite the tale. Doesn't happen to everybody. Most people see a hag. It's the last thing they see.
Oh, that's pretty close. So, do you know when the next where the next bard competition is going to take place? I have a friend who's kind of eager for that.
Oh man, you're in the right spot. I mean, you can make it happen now. If you start playing and draw a crowd, the odds of someone in the crowd also being a bard and willing to challenge someone is pretty good. I mean, stick around. It's a daily occurrence here. It's almost a nightly thing. A couple of guys trying to show off for a maiden, or just. See how loud they could get the crowd to cheer for them, or a lot of the times they'll play you an amazing song, or keep your rapt attention for tips, including free ale. Lots of bards around here work for free ale, to be honest.
Chris will look back towards the party and be like, all right, I got beer for everyone. Come have a sip. And Blade, why don't you show the local ladies how good your fingering is?
Oh, I would love to. And Blade was already tuning his lute. And he'll kind of jump up maybe on the I'm assuming so it's fairly early. I'm assuming there's not a ton of people in here yet, but maybe he'll jump onto one of the tables and just kind of start playing a melody and maybe start singing about this hag that we just encountered. Just be like, we once went into a swamp that was dark and dark. It was filled with frogs, and there was this hag. That was the terrible. I had such better idea in my.
Make a performance check at any rate.
And yes, performance. Every time, 17.
Okay, you begin. What instrument are you playing during this performance? You have several at this point.
I'm going to be starting with the Dragon Tooth lute. And if this isn't captivating them, I'm going to the castanets.
Okay, so you begin plucking the strings on your lute and telling a tale, singing a song, and as the average passerbyers come and go, you do notice that you get a few looks. People are kind of like, "Oh, hey, right on." And several of kind of in the nearby slum district where you guys are kind of drinking, several people kind of perk up from their hammocks and sitting on their barrels and idly kind of either fishing or whittling or something, and they do make their way over. At least a handful. They notice you playing. They're like, "Oh, hey, look!" And they make their way over. A couple of humans, a couple of dragonborn, and a handful of half elves, obviously, kind of move in to kind of take stock, kind of look at the newcomer, and several of them walk up. Hey, O'Malley, round for us here. O'Malley's all too happy to oblige. Oh, certainly. Just knocking him down, filling him up. Hey, how you doing? Come on in. Grab some space. And before long, this area, whereas it was just you before, with some light strumming, you seem to have drawn a few people interested in seeing what you are doing and what you have to say. So, as Blade lightly strums on the table and kind of captivates a handful of locals, what does the party do from here?
I think
Chris
Glare
is just going.
is. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say Locust is just going to sit and chill since you have a beer in the open.
Yeah, Glader was gonna do the same. Probably kind of just still recovering from the fact that, less than 12 hours ago, he was stuck inside a giant frog's mouth. So he's probably still a little shocked and just kind of slowly sipping his ale as he listens to his friend Blade play some music.
You notice you definitely have like dried spittle on your armor still and shit.
I'd imagine Logus would be sitting next to his friends, kind of looking at everybody with distrust. And every time someone's like, seems like they're walking towards his table, he kind of like stares them down and like slowly reaches for his bow just in case. And then they turn away and he'll kind of like sigh of relief because it's like the closest he's come to dying. And he'll kind of just try to relax and enjoy his ale while Blade's doing his thing.
Okay, yeah, as you guys kind of sit and sip your beers, knock back a few, as Blade seems to kind of entertain at least the immediate locale. Renwick, is there anything in particular you would need to do?
Nothing off the top of my head in particular. Kind of just following along with the party at this point. I'm not in a bad spot, and I'd kind of stocked up already and everything. So,
All right, as you guys kind of just sip beers and let Blade do his thing, eventually Blade's song and tale kind of conclude to a light smattering of applause. And O'Malley sends around your way on the house there, Blade. And, after a smattering of applause, a handful of coins is thrown your way, Blade. You make about roughly 12 gold pieces in various coins, coppers, silvers, etc. You make about 12 gold pieces, and once the money starts a flowing, a couple of other bards, also half elves, approach you and they say, "Hey, what do you say? You want to put loser buys around? We'll see who can generate the most hubbub out of these guys. And loser has to buy the ales, not just around, but for the night. Keep them coming. What do you say? You in?"
Blade will kind of maybe as they approach him and he's like still on the table, he'll be like kind of look away or not even look at them, but kind of like take his loot off and hand it over to his mage hand that'll just kind of grab it and hold it in place and kind of sit down on the edge of the table and be like, "Oh, I would love to have a little bard off. What do you call them? Bard offs?"
Exactly, a bard off. As you guys kind of say it, the crowd picks it up and starts hollering it, and shouting out, "Hey, Bardoff! We're having a Bardoff over here, Bardoff!" And a handful of more locals seem to kind of stop what they're doing, whether they're fishing idly, maybe moving some things around or whatever. But the a thorough challenge of a Bardoff has been called out, and the O'Malley's Green Dragon, whereas it was completely empty when you guys showed up, is now I would say packed, but it's not got any walls. So you guys are just like in a crowd of people with tables and things strewn about this crowd.
assuming that this crowd has now garnered our attention, I think Renwick would kind of like elbow the rest of the party and just be like, "We got to go hype him up." And he's gonna make his way up there and just try to hype Blade up in front of these dudes and be like, "Y'all don't want to bard off against this man. He's gonna crush you." I mean, his words are like pure gold, and his string work, it's impeccable. God forbid he breaks out the castanets. You'll shed tears.
Redwick, go ahead and give me a persuasion check as you're kind of saying this to the crowd.
That's a 5.
So the two bards that had challenged you, Blade, they kind of take point on like an adjacent table, if you will. And they say, "Oh, so you're that good, huh? The high stakes bard off then. Me and my buddy, we're some lushes. We would have only got you for like 20-ish gold worth of booze, but how's about we up the wager a little bit there? You interested?"
Oh, I'm more than interested, and my friend here is correct. You might not have come across anyone quite like me before. And so he will kind of, as he says that, kind of get back up onto the table and kind of grab his loot back, swing it back over him, and kind of pull out from his pack a book of sorts, and then pass it over to the mage hand and be like, "So, which one of you two would like to go first? Which one of you shall I wallop first?"
Oh, us? Well, we're a team. It's us versus you, my man.
Doesn't make any difference. Please, step
All
up.
right. So high stakes bard off then. We're playing for drinks, but let's make it a little more worth the while. How about 100 platinum coins?
Well, I think it's only fair that if you're going to play with your friend there, that our friend Archimedes helps out Blade here. But if it's 2 versus 2, I'll put down 100 platinum on that.
Deal. Let's do this. He grabs a coin and he turns to Blade. Heads or tails, your call.
Let's go tail, because that's all I'm going to get tonight.
It does come up tails. Would you rather go first or be the following act?
Blade will be the following act.
Okay, so one bard sets up on this table, and another prepares himself. These two elves, they're wearing these long, kind of white kind of jackets, but they're not really well kept. They're smudged in places, and they look like they've seen some better days. But they are kind of like long, like trench coats, and they have their hairs styled in like a kind of like almost punk rocky, like a mohawks type of a situation. One busts out a several sets of beating drums, and the other a very pristine-looking ocarina. And one starts by setting the beat, and the other begins playing some masterful riffs on this ocarina. I am going to make a performance check with advantage. All right. I'm looking at I'll even reveal my hand here. A 23. These guys start tearing it down. The melody coming out of the ocarina blends with the drums, and it just before long, a wild, intense yet very uplifting and upbeat kind of music kind of rushes through the crowd. You hear a murmur, several smiles, several people cheer. Some cheersing is going on, and at least a large portion of this crowd seems to be like bobbing and weaving, kind of swaying, dancing a bit, if you will, as these two bards just kind of like rock the house. And after a short time, they stop to a very eruption of applause from the crowd. "Oh, that was great!" They're cheersing and whatnot. And shortly after, the crowd kind of dies down. The bards open palm gesture with a light bow to Blade on the opposing table, and you're up.
Blade will step on up and kind of, as respectfully as he is, he will kind of, nod his head and just say, "That was a beautiful performance, and your playing is quite on point. But, like I said, I'm not your average bard that you come across." And he'll kind of, like he said, like I said before, he's got his mage hand up and he's holding this book, a book of ballads. And he's kind of looking at it and he goes, "Let me tell you a tale." And as he's saying this, you see Archie starting to fly above him. And let me tell you a tale of a boy and his bird. And he's kind of looking at this book that he's written in it and taking notes along their journey. And he's kind of recalling the memories of like Logus when he was training Tony Hawk. And uh, just kind of, let me tell you a song of a boy and his bird. Even though he was from nature, he a bird, he allured. And just kind of go from.
Okay, yeah. As you kind of go ham on this, go ahead and give me a performance check. I think with advantage if you're using the book.
30 on that first one.
A 30? Oh man, you pick up the pace and you shred. Your music is on point with your tale. Not only are you playing like an incredible riff as you tale this tale with a very melodic voice, hitting the high and low notes, causing bits of emotion to erupt in those who are kind of looking on. The crowd, while initially bobbing and weaving and swaying and cheersing for the other bards, are just is completely silent. They are slack-jawed. Their mouths open wide, and as you finish your tale, silence. And then silence erupts into a menagerie of cheers and applause. People are coming up to you and shaking your hand. They're like, "Oh man, whenever you're done here, let me buy you a drink." You hear it like a dozen times. Like people are offering to buy you drinks. The crowd just goes wild. Your donations go through the roof. You net yourself about 150 coins as people are throwing various coppers and silvers and gold pieces at you. You get about 150 gold out of the situation, and the other two bards on the opposing table, once the ruckus has died down and the crowd kind of looks back to them for a response. They look to one another and shake their heads and bow to Blade, declaring him the victor as they leave the table and join the crowd once more. One of them makes their way over to Renwick proper and hands him a parcel with 100 platinum coins. Well, you weren't lying. That was fucking amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. That was incredible.
I tried to warn you. I'm surprised you hadn't heard of him before, but I'm sure you'll be sure to spread the word. Our friend here is going to be big. And he just winks at Blade, starts counting his coin as he walks away.
Blade will kind of see the wink and yell at the bartender and say, "How about a few rounds for these bards?"
For Blade Silverstring, absolutely. O'Malley's like really like hamming it up, considering he just met you like an hour ago. He's like, he makes it seem like you guys are real tight, at least to the crowd. But he delivers some beers to both you and the other participants free of charge.
And Blade will walk up to the two of them and be like, "Listen, you guys played Very well. It's just I've got a little bit more experience, and it's nothing against you. You've got talent and potential, and I ask that you just keep playing, whatever you do.
That was amazing. Like, we've never. That was. What in the hell even happened? Like, that was top notch stuff. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be playing out here in the slums with us doing bar offs. I mean, they pay good money. The elves. For your talent. Oh, you could be. You could be playing in the royal palace, man. That's the life. I don't know why you're not doing that.
Well, I like to keep out of the hair of those high elves and really all the fame there as far as government politicals go.
I mean, yeah, they're twats, but their pockets are deep, man. I mean, you play like that. You play in the royal palace for a year or two. Oh man, you'll never have to work again.
Blade will nod his head and just say, "Enjoy the rounds, fellas, and great playing tonight."
Thanks. The name's Tip, by the way, Blade. Nice to meet you. He shakes your hand. His brother comes up and shakes your hand as well. And I'm Chuck, for the record. But yeah, it was a pleasure. We we don't get bested very often, but hurts a little less when we're bested by a master. So awesome, great performance.
And both of these guys, they were half elves.
Correct. Tip and Chuck are both half elves. They look remarkably similar, likely relatives, possibly siblings.
Okay, sounds good. And I guess as a farewell, Blade will just extend his hand and say, "Blade Silverstring," and hopefully we cross paths.
They kind of bow and give you your space. And Blade, you were kind of like almost bombarded by the small crowd. Like, people are like, "Hey, how much? I'll get another gathering together if you want to play another tune. What do you say? You want to play another tune? That was incredible. Can I buy you a drink?" You know, and a lot of people are just kind of enamored with your presence at the moment. You're being followed by like a crowd of groupies, essentially.
Blade will kind of look over at the rest of the party and be like, "Oh, what do you say, guys? Do you want me to play another one, or do you guys want to go to bed? What time is it?"
It's just now dusk. You know, it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock at this point.
Get your fun, because it's not going to get better the further we go.
I mean, you've already got the crowd warmed up.
All right, so Blade will, maybe in the downtime, like Blade will take a little bit of a rest, but maybe, I guess, if I could resummon Archie as a celestial crab.
Oh, for sure, easily done.
And Blade will kind of come back, and he'll, as kind of an encore to everyone, be like, "All right, everyone, last one for the night." And maybe you're not familiar with these instruments, and he kind of pulls out these castanets and looking at them and being like, "Has anyone seen these before?" Kind of like talking to the audience.
You get several laughs and cheers, and like, of course we have.
All right, well then you're in for a show. And he'll kind of once again go from his book with Archie, kind of synchronized with him with these castanets, and he'll start talking or kind of singing about maybe he'll kind of go, "There once a man who sailed the seas, half the height of what a normal one sees. He made a deal with a kraken, but his will was not shaken." kind of relating or giving a vague story of a gentleman that might have made a deal with a kraken at some point.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Go ahead and give me another performance check with advantage if you're using the book.
Renwick attempts to hide the single tear that he wipes off of his cheek.
Nat 20 for a 33.
It gets even better. At this point, Blade is like the center of this crowd. And once again, like as he's performing, almost like, you would expect in like a proper opera house, like all these kind of rough and tumble, rowdy, happy-go-lucky type of people are sitting in stunned silence as Blade just weaves another masterpiece and just kind of enwraps an entire crowd of people. You guys see like just like Slackjaw, Renwick, as you try to stifle a tear in your eye, you notice that several people in the crowd are just full on weeping at the words and the ways of Blade Silverstring. And once he's finished again, it is just a brief moment of stunned silence. And the crowd erupts. I mean, everybody's trying to get a piece of Blade. They're trying to pat him on the back. They're trying to buy him drinks. They've mobbed the table that he's standing on. Flowers come flying over the crowd and bounce off your face. Coins, you can hear a plethora of coins hitting the table that you're standing on. Blade, you net 200 gold pieces for this performance and just random coins thrown your way, as well as several full-on bouquets of flowers. And everyone within earshot seems to want to buy you a drink. They are interested in getting a beverage in you. They want to talk to you. They want to talk music theory. They want to know everything there is to know about Blade Silverstring. You've caused quite the buzz.
And as he finishes his story, his song, Blade will look at Renwick and give him his kind of signature wink back and kind of giving him just a nod that one was for you, buddy, and hop off the table and say, thank you, everyone. Thank you. And kind of like with his arms up, breaking through the crowd to get back to the table, maybe accepting a drink or a shot along the way.
Oh, for sure. They're all too happy to, people are offering to buy you beverages constantly. You kind of make your way back to the table, and then there's like a hushed murmur, but all the tables have filled up around you, and you are the center of attention. Everybody seems to be looking your way, whispering, talking about you. Several people actually kind of approach you and ask for like an autograph, and they're excited to meet you. I've never heard of you till now. It's really cool that you come through. Nobody plays like that out here. Nobody but like the high elves, and they don't play out here. They only play like in their clubs. That's really cool of you. So, hey, can you sign this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Blade is all too into it. He's never had this level of kind of fame or interest from other people in his performances, and he's all too happy to do it. Signing, maybe he's got his mage hand going on behind him, signing things behind him, and just giving tips to everyone on theory and whatnot. Just really engaging, really getting into it.
So Blade is like still thoroughly kind of basically entertaining this like small crowd of people as he sits down. You guys have like a line of fanboys kind of like lining up to get signatures, and people just kind of mobbing and talking to Blade. And and by association, you guys too. They're kind of talking about you. Questions are coming out, and at one point, a pair of tieflings, both of them red with black nails and horns, vibrant kind of orange eyes. They approach kind of timidly, but they approach Locris. And Locris, as you're kind of watching the revelry, you get a tap, tap, tap on your shoulder, and there is this couple of tieflings, a boy and a girl, and the girl, she looks a little bit older, and she says, I know you guys are all the thing right now, but can we sit here? Can we talk to you?
Go for it. Just taking a little break.
Her and her brother sit down next to you, and immediately you notice that she's talking to you, and the brother seems kind of silent, but both of them seem to lock eyes on Logos. And the girl, kind of without breaking eye contact from Logos, she says, is this can we talk here? Is he with them?
Oh, it's fine. He's wood elf, not high elf.
Oh, okay. And she kind of has like a visible sigh of relief, but the boy still got like a mean mug going on towards Logos. He's just kind of staring with distaste in his eyes. You know, the girl turns to you and says, "So what's all this about? How'd you do that? I mean, we've been in the slums for a bit, but our kind don't do this kind of stuff. We don't associate with people like that. How'd you break it? How'd you break out? What's your secret?
Well,
we got to get out of this situation, you know. And we don't see many, I don't know, successful tieflings, I guess. You got any pointers for the next generation?
Well, one, I had to leave this godforsaken country. I ended up in Hordenshire with the dragons. Then I ended up around some gnomes, and honestly, the way tieflings and non-human looking or elf looking humanoids are treated throughout the rest of the world is not the way it is here. In fact, when I was up in Hordenshire, there was a tiefling who was a professor at a magic school. That definitely opened up my eyes.
Her mind seems like blown. She's like, what? They let tieflings go to school? That's incredible. I never thought about leaving Brightwood. It's so expensive to live here. I imagine moving far away is more. But, I mean, I guess. Yeah, you're right. The elves kind of keep us under their thumb, don't they? Amazing. Crazy.
And it's not easy. I mean, you definitely need a skill, but I mean, if you're living in the slums already, what's one slum compared to another slum? At least somewhere else, there's that chance of advancing. Here, you could be the nicest, gentlest tiefling to ever come across, and they'll still treat you like yesterday's garbage.
Well, Mister, we're not necessarily the nicest of tieflings. We've got skills. She flashes like a blade that she's got tucked in her hip. She says, and we're pretty good at a few things here and there. Maybe you guys need an extra set of hands. What do you say? Me and my brother could kind of tag along and help you guys, set up camp, or watch out for this bard.
Well, we're going into some very dangerous situations, and I don't mean lightly. I mean, the high elves are the least of our worries. But I do happen to know a gnomish woman up in, what is it, Borsland? Boar's Head? Renwick, what's your island?
Borsland.
Yeah. There's a gnome up in Borsland who started a ragtag team of cut purses. I'm sure she could use some extra hands. They just started getting an economy up, so.
Interesting. And if I was to get there, who am I looking for?
Her name is Logus, who's that? No, that halfling girl you kidnapped.
That'd be Ariel.
Ariel.
I believe I don't remember who I kidnap or kill, and I'm gonna stare back at the tiefling who's staring at me. Just not break his eye contact.
There's been so many of them. I'm sure it's hard for you to keep track.
Oh no,
He plays
Locust.
with frogs.
I'm just gonna like this dude wants to mean mug me after what happened last night. Let's fucking go, boy. Let's step outside. But just kind of like have a sense of distrust about him. Locust is kind of sitting back and seeing this guy just staring at him. He's just gonna hold his gaze.
He only once you kind of meet his gaze, he only holds your gaze for a second before kind of looking away. Yeah, you can tell without even a proper insight check. He's not. He don't think much of you.
So where are you two from?
Here, well, we were kind of running around up in Charlatan for a little while, but it's not as easy as it always has been. We kind of wander to and from the cities. I've been to Sillerin a little bit, been to the keep, been to even the royal palace, but they didn't let us in. But I mean, even the outside of the royal palace has got some friendly areas to us tieflings, but mostly just around here, Brightwood. I like Ledlitten the best because they're just a little more open, a little nicer here. Of all the cities, there's not many high elves rather, and I don't know. It's a little bit better in the cities where the slums outnumber others.
Well, we're on our way up to Sillerin. What can you tell us about the road there?
Well, it seems the Royal Guard currently either lacks the resources or the ability to patrol the roads. They're not out there. I don't know if it's because they don't want to, or maybe they're stretched thin from other things that are supposedly going on around here. But it's hard to say. But you should definitely go armed. There's lots of rumors of things like bad things, trolls, hags, things that would probably chomp you up and eat you.
Logos's eye is gonna twitch at the mention of hags.
Well, we always go armed. But yeah, based upon what we just saw a few days ago, the dark elves are attacking the high elves, so it's wonderful pandemonium chaos that doesn't affect us.
Oh wow, that's news to me. That's usually Charlatan and Ledlitten are not really wrapped up in the politics of the High Elves. I mean, sure they run the cities, but even the lords of those cities are like running it begrudgingly. It seems like it's a post that nobody wants. It's kind of just how it is, I guess. But yeah, like I said, the roads aren't the best at the moment because the guards and soldiers don't seem to be there. I think it's got something to do with the kidnappings as of late. It seems to be like people who have been going missing and those who fight back too hard are slain. It seems like also that the conspirators are taking great care to capture elves alive when they can. Sometimes sacrificing their own comrades to ensure their success. There's been these are all rumors, of course. I've never seen anything myself, but yeah, it's not the best out there. Even politically, with the royal guard just being absent, not being on the roads. That's I don't know. The elves are kind of dicks, but they usually don't leave us high and dry like that. Their patrols keep out the trolls, the hags, the undesirable creatures that call the forest home, and kind of ruins the traveling life for us when kind of afraid to go out of town.
Yeah, we focused that quite a few times, so it's not uncommon. But yep, if I were you, I would just keep your heads down and honestly go to another town or another country. Get away from these high elves. You get a good breath of fresh air.
She kind of nods. She reaches out and offers to shake your hand. She says, "I'm Tekka. This is my brother Moorish, and we might take you up on that when the roads around here clear up. We try to hitch a ride to old what'd you say it was, Borsland, the Alliance Islands."
Yes. We just finished curing them of a vampire problem. So business is going to start picking up, which means coins moving around more freely, which means more opportunity. Just as a friendly heads up.
Well, thanks for the heads up. Any chance you can weasel in a meeting with this guy for me and my brother? He kind of she gestures over to Blade, who's I imagine currently like shaking hands, talking to people, signing autographs.
Can I make two things? Can I make a perception check on the brother? I know the girl flashed a blade. I want to see what kind of weapons he has. And two, I'm gonna insight check him on their intentions of meeting Blade.
Okay, yeah. Give me a perception check and follow that with an insight check.
That's a 27.
Okay, 27. With that, you kind of look him up and down. He doesn't seem to be wearing anything like high quality goods. He's got some worn out sandals, kind of a dirty kind of beggar look to this kid. But you do see in his belt there is it's not even really a dagger, it's more like a whittling knife, but he does have a knife in his belt, yes.
And I rolled an 11 insight.
With an 11, if you're watching him intently, every once in a while his eyes do flick over to you to see like what you're doing, how you're acting. But with an 11, at the mention of Blade, you notice he kind of gets distracted briefly and starts paying attention to the conversation between Locris and his sister.
What are your intentions with our friend? Are you fans or do you intend to have sticky fingers?
The boy kind of narrows his eyes and staring at you, Logos. He said, "Well, he said you is different, but all the elves think us tieflings are thieves." He spits on the table and then just walks away.
Locus wants to shoot him in the butt.
Locris will use Mage Hand to tap Blade on the shoulder, and then he press the digitation to send like puffs of wind and like arrow sparks pointing him towards us.
Blade kind of being overwhelmed with the amount of people approaching him, but he does manage to get his attention and kind of turns to the tieflings there and notices the one walking away and uses his mage hand to kind of put it on his shoulder to kind of stop him.
He does stop and kind of looks back, and when he notices you, like he goes like it's like stunned silence. His eyes go wide, and he's just like, super quiet, kind of staring at you. And the girl kind of leans over, Tekka. She says, "Hey, yeah, my brother Morris really wanted to meet you." And she's like patting down her pockets, and she pulls out like a slip of parchment. It looks to be like on the side of it, it's like a receipt. It looks, or a list rather. It looks to be like a grocery list. It says like bread, butter, milk, eggs, and she provides it to you. She says, "Any chance he could get a John Hancock? It might mean a lot to him." And she kind of looks over to him and like waves him to come by. And even with the open jaw, kind of wide eyed, he slowly approaches the table back, just kind of like gawking at Blade.
Blade will say, of course, and as he he'll use his mage hand almost to kind of like caress his back a little bit and kind of pull him into the table and just say, "It's truly an honor to just have fans, and without you, there's no me." And he'd gladly sign the piece of paper and say, "Let me give you something to remember me by." And he'll pull out his lute, and after playing a little bit, I'm sure that one of his strings has kind of deadened, and he'll kind of unwind it from his lute and detach it and roll one of the strings up from his lute and give it over to the the tiefling that was walking away and say, "This is for you."
His like lip trembles, and he like, he looks like he's about to cry, but he accepts the gift, and he's like, so enamored, he's like speechless. And the sister kind of speaks up for him. Well, we'll say thank you. And he kind of nods and bows and clears his throat and struggles, but he does say, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Logus would be intently watching their hands because he knows Blade just made some coin, and having a little distrust. He's making sure they don't try to swipe him.
Okay, Logos, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Logos over here profiling tieflings.
22. But they did openly admit that they are into going and working with Ariel, who steals for a living. 22 perception.
With a 22, this kid kind of gawking, and the interaction kind of concludes between him and Blade. And as Blade kind of returns to the table, you and the kid briefly catch eyes for a moment, and he's got this guitar string that he's holding in his hand in front of his face, and he looks at you and smiles and flips you the bird and then disappears into the crowd of people.
Locris.
The way he did it so stealthily, so smoothly, you're confident that you were the only person in the room that saw this kid flip you off before he left.
But he didn't swipe. Neither of them swiped Blade.
Neither of them went for Blade's coin purse. No, they say their goodbyes and make their way through the crowd out of the area.
Logos will kind of sit back and, your brother has a little bit of hatred towards our kind. I understand, seeing as I've been here, but walking around with that kind of attitude could get him hurt. And then he'll just kind of sit back and continue to listen to the conversation.
Blade will kind of noticing, Logos's hesitation and trust with the tieflings, and just say, they seemed harmless enough. Just seemed like good fans. Didn't seem to mean any harm to us. But
it's nothing. It's nothing towards the tieflings, Blade. I have no problem. One of our best friends, one of our party members, is a tiefling. I mean, as a half elf, I mean, I guess you don't have to deal with it, but it gets tiring being prejudiced against when you've done nothing wrong. And then like kid came in with a predetermined hatred towards me, and I've done him no wrong. After a while, it's tiring trying to correct that feeling and just having people hate you for no reason. And something that I've never had to deal with, and it's quite hard actually. I've done that kid no wrong, and I would like him to like me. I could probably show him a couple of things, but
Well, you've done no wrong, and I can agree with that. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about people of your race.
I hold no
And
love
that's,
towards the high elves.
oh, I know you don't. But you can't expect people to just automatically trust you when for their whole lives they've been getting spit on by those who look like you. It's just that natural distrust. And I admit, I had the same thing early on. But time, not threats, get you friends and understanding. But with that said, I'm ready to lay down and get back on the road tomorrow. I don't know about the rest of you.
Well, maybe a kind gesture for you and your brother. I have a tendency to try to give gifts to people who don't like me because I have a deep-seating need to be liked by everyone. And Logus will reach into his bag and pull out two short swords that he's had. One's a masterwork, one's a regular. I have no need for these. And he'll like tap his bow. What we just came across on the road is pretty dangerous. And those little knives will do very little to protect y'all on the road. Here, give one of these to your brother. Tell him it was from me and tell him we're not all bad. And he'll put the swords down on the table for him and his sister, and then he'll just get up and go and procure rooms.
Oh yeah, you can certainly kind of flag down Tekka and Moorish. They're not far. You're just kind of sitting off in an adjacent table, enjoying the view, hoping that some more bar offs happen or something. And but she does kind of see where you're coming from. She's like eavesdropping, kind of listening to your guys' conversation. Let me roll a dice right quick. And she comes up to you and your blades, and she does take them. She kind of bows, says, "Thank you, very generous." And she takes your swords and returns to the table with her brother.
As they're walking away, Blade will be like, "Do you want me to sign them for you?" I'm kidding.
She comes running back.
Hang them up. Don't use them ever.
That's pretty cool, though. A sword from Logus signed by Blade, considering we're gonna be hopefully survive and be freaking heroes. Those are gonna be worth a lot someday.
Be worth a lot of money.
So, as this kind of transpires, Logos, you said you leave to go try to procure some rooms. Aside from where you're drinking at the Green Dragon, it looks like there is a couple of inns here. One being the Bent Bucket, kind of in the not in the slums, but not necessarily, built with elvish architecture. It's just kind of there. But there is also the Lead Litten Lounge, and that is a very like bougie, high elven architecture kind of structure. But those look to be your only two options. So, what would you prefer, the Bent Bucket or the Lead Litten Lounge?
Considering that the last place we went to that was kind of bougie turned away my party, I think Logos will probably go. I know they probably take them here, but having a little disdain for high elves right now, I'll probably go with the lesser high elf influenced one and get some rooms for the group.
Okay, yeah, you make your way into the bent bucket. It looks, it's pretty bumping. It's elbow to elbow. There is a plethora of customers, and nobody bats an eyelash when another elf walks through the door. There's several elves in here, but they're also mingling with, other half elves, orcs, dwarves, half orcs, and whatnot. Seems to be, a plethora of individuals in the area. It is a human bartender, and he rings you up for a couple of rooms. They are decently expensive. It's going to cost 12 gold pieces per person per night to stay in this establishment.
Holy moly! You said this is the cheaper one?
Correct.
All right. Yeah, Logos will just get one. Uh, I guess he'll do 3 rooms for one night.
Renwick will be Renwick's gonna step up and be like, no, 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 no. Tonight we're celebrating, and this one is on Blade. And Renwick's gonna pay for everybody to have their own room tonight with his winnings off of Blade, since he made 100 platinum. So you said it's 12 apiece, so what? 60.
Yep, even 60 for the night. As you are all given some keys, a bit of light music is in the air here. Some laughter, some cheering. It looks, some people seem to be talking about this great performance that was just down and out and around the corner. It was like mind blowing, and there are a small crowd of people kind of doing their thing here. Bit of incense in the air. A few call girls kind of are given Blade or any of you rather that walk in that look like you've got a hefty coin purse. They're batting their eyes at you, and so where do you guys? How do you guys proceed from here? I assume. A couple of you are in this bar. The couple of maybe still at the Green Dragon, unless you wanted to reconvene and head to the room for the night or something.
As Blade walks into the bent bucket, I'm gonna stand next to him and be like, "Oh my God, is that Blade Silverstring?" And then kind of hype him up as he walks in.
A handful of looks to be like fanboys, fangirls rush Blade immediately upon entering. Like, oh my God, he's here! And they all kind of like, nah. And Blade goes, is now surrounded again by people trying to give him handshakes, high fives, buy him a drink, get him to sign an autograph. It's just like a smattering of people again.
And I'll stand back and kind of see the people mob him, and I'll be like next to Renwick. Was that kind of a dick move? He might have wanted to be left alone here. I didn't even think about that. I should have asked him before I did that.
Blade just can't get enough of it. He just goes right in, kind of like almost like the Tom Cruise high five, like yeah, like just like yeah, and starts high fiving people and giving more autographs.
Yeah, as you guys kind of make your way into this bent bucket tavern, it's a little less chaotic than the just hustle and bustle outside in the open air of like the Green Dragon Tavern where you guys were drinking. A little more refined. You see, people wearing, a little bit more classier clothes. Not a lot of dirt under the nails type here. And they, kind of keep to themselves for the most part as you guys kind of meander in.
Locris will make his way up to his room.
Okay.
I'd imagine since Renwick got the rooms, Logos will buy around for anyone who stays down and kind of mingle among the crowd and with the party until it's time to go to bed.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I would imagine Blade maybe once he's got done with talking with people and whatnot, he might be trying to like sitting on a table and just playing his lute and maybe trying to woo one of the ladies around.
Go ahead and give me a charisma check with advantage. Or you could call it persuasion, I suppose, with advantage. It's just Blade's night. So with a 32, Blade has like a smattering of women around him all of a sudden. He's got a woman on each knee, essentially, as he's sitting at this table. He's got two women, one on each side, two women on his lap, and there are two other women sitting next to him on either side, and yet two others sitting across the table from him. So at this very moment, there are six individuals, six women of varying races, species, whatever, and they all seem to be oogly eyeing Blade and kind of like looking at him hungrily, like lustfully.
Logos is gonna like be at another table with Gladier, and Jesus, that he gets so much women. It's crazy. Should have picked up a lute instead of a bow.
Yeah, but I mean, can you blame him? I mean, look at the swagger he's got.
I mean, you sound like you like him, Gladier. Why don't you go sit on his lap?
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, he's a handsome fellow, but that might
Oh, would you like bigger guys or what? Just poking fun at Gladier.
Oh yes. I feel like you just sound a little jealous now.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been with a woman. As soon as I was old enough, I started looking for my father. Now I'm here.
Well, I don't really have a comment to that, but I'm sure you'll find a lovely lady someday. Yeah, this
Gladier,
don't.
have you been with a woman, Gladier?
Yeah, gentleman does not kiss and tell.
What's it like?
Go ask Wade. I'm not giving you the talk.
My mom used to say something about birds and bees, but I never understood it.
Uh, why don't we save this conversation when we'll find your dad and he'll explain it all to you.
Same way that we were going to find Renwick's mother or your sister. How were we sure, Gladier? Why can't you tell me?
If you're if we end up not being able to find your dad, and I mean, I hope that doesn't happen for many reasons other than this one reason. But if we can't find your dad, then I will explain the birds and the bees to you.
Hopefully we make it that far. I almost died yesterday, Gladier, and it seems like you can't even do me this small favor.
Okay, don't try and guilt trip me. Just don't talk to any more old ladies.
Part of me was kind of hoping she was interested. I guess she was interested, just in a different way.
Yeah, she wanted to kill you. Definitely
Well,
was not looking for a little romp in the sleeping bag.
Romp in the swamp.
Romp in the swamp.
well, then it's settled. If we survive long enough, and you can tell me.
Yes. Deal. Feel like I'm going to regret this. We are 0 for 2 on family members being alive, so
That was your fault, okay?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, so anyways, God, that had me rolling off mic, you guys. You guys are fucking funny. So, as you guys are kind of hanging out about this tavern, finishing up, sipping on some ales and things, is there anything you guys need to do before getting your night's rest?
I think
Level up.
Nice try.
I guess Blade will. He's going to go ahead and just ham it up. He's going to see if there's maybe an extra room and kind of say to all the ladies, "Would you care for a private performance?"
With the persuasion check in the 30s, all 6 of these women pile into your single bedroom with you.
Blade will head up with them and just be like, "I'll see you, the lot of you, in the morning. Thanks for letting us stop here, Locris." Actually, he was already heading up.
Locris is for sure like got the room next door to yours, so yeah, he's not gonna get a lot of sleep.
About to get a lot of experience. Level 10 for me, bitches.
Oh God, that was too good. Sorry, I was like dying off mic. With that, I mean, if everybody is content, I think this is probably the best spot to put a pin in our adventure for the time being, boys.
Yep, that sounds good.
Oh, a fantastic way to end it.
Yeah, I think that's a great high note to end on.
I really like the thought of like Gladier going on some crazy ass, potentially lethal, dangerous adventure just to not have to give Logos the sex talk. God damn, that was funny.
Yep. Like I'm doing everything I can now to find his fucking dad.
That was a long way of saying like I would rather die.
Let's go find your dad.
This is gonna be the first thing when I discover my dad. So, Dad, what's the birds and bees?
I will narrate the fuck out of that for sure.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Knowing Sean, he's gonna be like mid talk and then get eaten by a dragon or something.
Well, shit, that was fun, boys. You guys had me rolling there for a bit, but I think I'm gonna call her a night. I gotta get to a few things, so keep in touch. We'll do this again next week.
Yeah, that was damn good, guys. Take it easy.
All right, guys. Later.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Catch you guys later.
Thank you.